What's going on, Ravens flock? Free agency is open. Well, 1 minute away, but basically open. So we will see what ends up getting done. Ravens have not made any moves besides re-sign Tyler Huntley. Great signing. And that's only reported because he has an agent too, by the way. So they definitely could have made more moves than that. I've been saying this. They could have made way more moves with contracts and stuff if they don't have an agent. It doesn't get reported. So we'll see, man. We'll see. Linderbaum set to hit free agency right now. So I'm sure he's going to shop around, get some offers, and hopefully he comes back. But that's the one I'm waiting on. That's the big move. Isaiah Likely here in Giants, which is interesting because of Harbaugh, but I guess it's really just about opportunity more than anything, you know? So Isaiah Likely probably gone. But Linderbaum's the big piece yet to fall. Other news around the NFL right now so far. Travis Kelce's returning to the Chiefs. Not a big surprise there. Tua expected to be heavily pursued by the Falcons. He was just released by the Dolphins. That's about it so far. I mean, there's been a couple re-signings, but we will see. Free agency is officially underway. Well, legal tampering period's underway. This is where teams just talk to agents and now can talk to players for up to an hour. You can talk to 5 players up to an hour. And we'll start getting a bunch of verbal agreements today. I don't know how much is going to happen in the next, hour or two, especially if we got to wait for Linderbaum's situation to play out. If he's shopping around, he clearly already knows our offer. So he's shopping around. The Ravens are probably just waiting to see what that price is and what decision he ends up making. But what's up, everybody? Appreciate you guys being here. I'm going live. First time doing free agency live, so probably going to end up being slow moving. Hopefully not. We'll just talk about other things going on around the NFL too and just chop it up, man. What's good, everybody? What's up, Dylan? I'm ready. Just waiting on this extension to get announced. Yeah, the Lamar one, I'm guessing you're talking about. That's up to Lamar and the Ravens to announce. If it's done, I think it's done, but we'll see. It's not going to leak from an agent. There's been I see so many fans saying tagging Ian Rappaport and Schefter, break the news of the Lamar extent. They're not going to. They will repost the news from the Ravens or Lamar. There's a whole system of agents reporting to these top insiders. So you just don't get that. Ooh, breaking news, though. We did just get one. Not the Ravens, but big domino. The Colts and standout wide receiver Alec Pierce have agreed to a deal. So he did not hit free agency. Buzzer beater deal for the Colts there. That was the top free agent, basically, or one of the top wide receiver free agents. Interested to see what that deal is. That's not going to be cheap. Probably high 20s. But Alec Pierce avoids free agency. Heard New England was in on him. It's 4-year, $116 million. Dang. That's a big one. Honestly, there's a lot of teams that have been re-signing their guys. $29 million a year. Or no, 114. I'm tripping. $28.5 million a year for Alec Pierce. Staying with the Colts. Or no, Schultz said 116. I don't know. 28, 29 million. Rappaport saying 114 is what it is. I'm here. What's up, everybody? Y'all do know they don't need Lamar extensions to be done to sign Lindy. Yeah, I mean, technically, nothing needs to be official until Wednesday at 4 o'clock. That's why, like, no announcement about the Lamar extensions, like, not even stressing me out whatsoever. Lamar's staying here, like, and I know they did some cap work because you can't do the Crosby trade. The Crosby trade would not go through on Wednesday when the new league year starts if you're not under the cap. So that work's been done or at least agreed upon. It's just not announced yet. I'm not tripping about the extension. Linderbaum, that's the scary one, you know. Like I'm praying that he stays here. And yeah, we can agree to sign to anybody today as long as they know they can fit them under the cap by Wednesday. Yeah, Lamar did call out Dan Orlovsky about excuses. Said, Dan, there's never been excuses for Lamar, though. It was referencing a segment on, not sure what show, Get Up this morning. Get it done. Basically putting pressure on Lamar to like go win a Super Bowl now. The Ravens are all in. You got to go win a Super Bowl now. Yeah. I'm glad Lamar replied. He's obviously got some time today. Zacchaeus signing with the Falcons. There were so many like trades. Rashawn Gary went to the Cowboys. Obviously, Max Crosby goes to Baltimore. There were some big trades, which kind of takes, a little steam out of some of the free agency, especially when a guy like Alec Pierce resigns. Like there was teams making trades and trying to retain their own guys instead of just going and spending a crazy amount in free agency. So a little bit of a difference there. I've been seeing that shift over the past few years of like, all right, free agency gets a little too wild and sometimes the markets do get a little irrational. Hopefully that does not happen with Linderbaum. Like Lindy's not coming back. We'll see. We'll see. If he gets offered 25 plus million, like some of these reports were originally saying, then sure, I agree. But look, just to like show you the player difference and value, Draymond said, yeah. So there's like these are like one of these accounts that post what the projected value of guys are. And they're like, Draymond set to sign a 3-year, $60 million deal this offseason, which is an average of $20 million a season. And Draymond himself reposted this and goes, I don't know about this one, but I appreciate the projection. And like, I do feel like that. And I could be totally wrong, man. I'm just a fan talking here. I do feel like that with Linderbaum when people were like, he's getting 27 million, he's getting 25 million. If you saw the Connor McGovern deal, he got 13 million a year. That was like the next best center on the market. The highest paid center in NFL history is 18 million a year. So sure, I mean, Linderbaum could get 25 plus, and then I definitely think he's gone because Eric DeCosta is going to call that an irrational market and be like, we're not paying that. Kind of like what happened with CJ Mosley years ago. But also, those numbers could be inflated. There's a lot of these numbers that are fed to these guys by agents. And Draymond Jones just signed. Breaking news there. Let's refresh the screen here. And it's not those numbers. Why is this not refreshing? Come on. The Patriots are signing Ravens defensive end Draymond Jones. 3-year, $39 million. So we just lost Draymond. That'll lead us to a comp pick, though. But yeah, way lower than $20 million a year, right? But good deal for him. They obviously had that in the works. A lot of these deals that come together quickly like that, they already have in the works, but he gets $13 million a year. And I honestly didn't expect him back after a Crosby trade. Like, that's kind of a pipe dream, you know? And the Ravens will be able to swing a tiny bit if Linderbaum leaves, because that obviously clears up a little bit of freedom there. If Linderbaum comes back today, I don't know how many big swings the Ravens are going to take. You know, hopefully we go sign a vet guard. Hopefully we bring back Stout and a couple other guys. We already re-signed Snoop. Like, I think free agency will be a little bit more quiet if, you know, we get Linderbaum, because that's the big acquisition along with Max Crosby. So I mean, I loved what Draymond brought to the team last year, but after we traded for Crosby, I'm not surprised by this at all. I got to catch up. There's a lot of comments. Appreciate you guys. Why hasn't Lamar restructured yet? We do not know that. We do not know that. And I would imagine it's an extension instead of a restructure. And I think it got done on Friday, but I'm just a fan talking. We don't know. Lamar will announce, or the Ravens. This doesn't get leaked by Schefter and stuff. It's a different game when you don't have an agent. So no announcement means nothing when you have no agent. It's just on their time. Very curious to see what Linderbaum's market is, though. Yeah, Draymond is gone. 3-year, $39 million to the Patriots. Lindy may end up with Orla, New York. Yeah, we'll see, man. They're going to have to throw a crazy bag, because I think the Ravens match anything in like low 20s. They already offered him to be the highest paid. Eric DeCosta said that directly from his mouth. So you already offered Linderbaum to be the highest paid center, which technically really only means like 19 million, but I think they'd go to 20 or 21. So unless he's really getting that 25 plus offer, I just don't understand why he would go somewhere else. But we'll see, man. TBD. If we can't keep Lindy, sign Isaiah back. If we lose Linderbaum, the Ravens have a little bit more flexibility to bring in some different guys or bring back some other guys like an Isaiah Likely. Like, there are more options. I just hate that situation, because then we have 3 holes on the interior offensive line, the biggest weakness of the team right now. Draining Crosby going to be a problem? Hell yeah, man. I cannot wait. It still feels so surreal that we actually got Max Crosby. Insane. Insane. Would I have wanted AJ Brown? For the right price, and like if we didn't do the Crosby trade, yeah. I mean, I love AJ Brown. I think he would help us a lot, but I wasn't willing to give up the 14th pick for it. And definitely not after Crosby trade. We're not doing that. They want a first round pick. We don't have any more first round picks for the next 2 years. So AJ Brown would have been cool, would have been fun, but I'm glad we went the Crosby route. Isaiah is gone. Linderbaum is gone. Patrick Ricard is gone. We'll see. We will see. Likely, yeah, there. I think that's the highest chance. Pat Ricard really dependent upon this new coaching staff if they want to have a fullback in this offense. Um, Linderbaum still completely up in the air. Chris, you wanted Dre back? Hurts a little. Yeah, he was good last year, man. Really good. I think if we didn't do the Crosby trade, this would have been a lot more of a realistic re-sign. But you know, you got Crosby with a $30 million cap hit that I know we can restructure, but we still have to fit that original cap hit under our cap by Wednesday at 4. So signing another edge rusher to 13 million a year is just tough, man. But love Draymond. Lindy, Samalu, Chubb, Cam Jordan, AD, Stout, Kohler. I don't know if we'll have the money for all of that, but especially like a Chubb, he might get like 10 million. But veteran guard, love it. Lindy, love it. O line's taken care of heading into the draft. That would be ideal. Cam Jordan's a veteran. I think he would come for cheap. Our Darius would come for cheap and has been productive here. And we need another safety. I like that. Jordan Stout, definitely love that. If we lose likely, I think Kohler's the best option. So I agree with all those, man. Chubb is the one that I don't know if we could afford right now, but we'll see how the cap situation shakes out. I think Jordan Stout, yeah, I do think Jordan Stout resigns. It's just one of those deals where it doesn't serve you a ton to do it ahead of time, and maybe he wants to go see what the market is to get 500K more or something like that. And he probably will have a market. He's coming off his best season, but I don't think the Ravens invested a fourth round draft pick in Jordan Stout and then also watched him have the best year, one of the best punters in the game last year, and had his career year. I just think they retain him. It's not going to cost an insane amount, but these are one of these those are one of those deals that kind of get done, maybe later today or within the next few days. It's not as pressing as Linderbaum. Like I don't think the Linderbaum thing lingers much longer than today. I'd be shocked. He's going to go shop around. He's probably doing that right now, taking calls, going to find out what the real offers are, and come back to Baltimore and say, hey, this is what we're getting, or his agent, not him. This is what we're getting from the Titans or the Giants or the Raiders or whoever's throwing money at him. And then the Ravens will either match it or say, no, all right, take it. Lindy's agent is being greedy. Yeah, he's doing good work, honestly, as an agent. I mean, he's playing hardball for sure, man. Which is, I guess, what an agent's supposed to do, maximize value. But just because you did that doesn't mean that he's gone, though. But we'll see. Tylen Wallace gone, probably. I don't believe he signed anywhere yet, but his contract voided, and we're eating a little bit of dead money for it. Plus, he didn't have probably had his smallest role last year, so I would imagine he goes somewhere else. Bullock, yeah, I love Bullock. I think he's versatile too. He can play guard or center. Was getting reps at center last year. I think there's a lot of potential there, especially with the new coaching staff to develop. That could be part of a Linderbaum replacement plan. Scary though, scary man. Like even if we go draft our rookie center, it's kind of like all on development at that point and the player. But it's scary to drop from Linderbaum to that. We are clearly in win now mode after a Crosby trade like that. The last thing you want to do is not put resources towards the offensive line and our offense struggles. Like that's stupid. Yeah, I feel the same way. I'd love to have Draymond back, but once we traded for Crosby, I was like, we're not going to spend a lot of money on an edge rusher now. That was the move, and I'm good with it. Appreciate you guys for tapping in, man. Hanging out with me for free agency. Let's see what else is going on. I don't think anyone else signed here. Yeah, Draymond deal's the big one right now. 14.5 million in year one, but an average of 13 million a year total. It's a good deal for him, honestly. It's solid. Ravens just can't afford that right now. Every time I get an update and I see Ravens, my anxiety builds and heart drops a little bit. And I need to we all probably need to mentally prepare ourselves to keep losing some guys. We are not going to re-sign the majority of our own free agents, probably. We already lost Draymond. Isaiah Likely's a high chance to go somewhere. I guess the rest of these deals, Linderbaum, we'll see. The rest of the deals are smaller. They probably don't happen immediately. But we'll see. We'll see. Tyler Linderbaum meeting with teams. And you get 5 hours. This is new too. I reposted it, but I don't know if I'll be able to find it here. I'll find it. There's a new rule. Here we go. Found it quick, actually. A subtle but significant change when the NFL's free agent negotiating window opens on Monday. For the first time, clubs may conduct one video or phone call, maximum of an hour, with up to 5 free agents rather than communicating strictly through their agents as in past years. So, in past years, a lot of these deals are kind of already done because the teams have been talking behind the scenes with the agents, but now they get to actually meet with the player. So there's more of a recruiting like pitch to it, which probably helps the teams get some guys. It's not just communication between the agents. So that's a little bit of a new wrinkle. So I would imagine Linderbaum and his agent are taking some calls, but that moves quick. I think your offers quick, and then you come back to Baltimore and you discuss and move accordingly. All right, let's get back to the news or lack thereof. We got to mentally prepare to lose a few guys, especially after the Crosby trade, man. Eric Stokes back to the Raiders, 3-year deal, $30 million, $20 million guaranteed. But yeah, lost Draymond. That's the move so far. And that one went quick. So he obviously was already been discussing with the Patriots. But good for him, man. If Lindy leaves, our O-line is toast. I'm feeling that way too, temporarily. There better be a hell of a backup plan. That's why and I might be crazy, but I still don't think he's leaving. I think he shops around the numbers in like the low 20s because I keep seeing Ian Rappaport talk about, even last night, he's like, he's going to get north of 20 million. Well, okay, clearly, like that could be 21, 22. I think the Ravens probably already offered 19 or 20. They said that they made him the highest market setting offer, the highest paid center ever. So he's definitely going to become the highest paid center ever. Ooh, banger. Chiefs signed Kenneth Walker. That's a big one. So you can kind of take them out of the Jeremiah Love running in the draft because I was hearing a lot about that. But that'd be interesting. So Chiefs signed Travis Kelce back, and they just signed Kenneth Walker. That's a banger. I think Jeremiah Love probably goes early, like Cardinals, Titans, like top 5 or 6. But yeah, I was worried that he'd go to the Chiefs, but Kenneth Walker's a beast too, man. Just gonna brace yourself. Yeah, no, I get it. I think you have to, man. Free agency is crazy, especially the first wave. It's like a lot of like losing guys quickly, and then all of a sudden the Ravens will obviously, like, by the end of the week, you'll know how this all plays out. You'll know pretty much who we lost, who we have, but or even by Wednesday, really, like all the extension cap stuff has to be announced by Wednesday. So we'll know in the next few days, but definitely stressful, painful, emotional roller coaster for the first day. I'm expecting to lose everybody, but Linderbaum's still tied to me, man. I just think it's just not smart to let him go. But if the market gets irrational, the market gets irrational. Saints getting love, yeah, that makes sense too. He's going before the Chiefs, but I was worried that if he dropped to the Chiefs, that'd be a real problem. But Kenneth Walker's their guy. Interested to see what that deal is too. Jess, what's up, man? Appreciate you with the 5. What's 3 moves other than Crosby deal you would personally make in free agency? I'd bring Linderbaum back. I would sign Wyatt Teller, a veteran guard. I would bring Stout back. I would bring Awuzie back at corner. I would sign a safety, whether that's Ardarius. That's my favorite right now, but they could be looking at somebody else in free agency. Maybe even Gilman. You never know. But we need a third safety. So those are the moves on the top of my mind: is get Linderbaum back, sign a veteran guard. Wyatt Teller could play right guard. And then you're feeling so much better about the O-line. Like, we still have 10 picks in the draft. And if you go into the draft with, a battle at left guard right now with Emory Jones and Voorhees, that Emory Jones is expected to win. You get Linderbaum back at center, and then you have a vet guard at right guard. You could even draft another lineman in the draft and let him compete. But you're just feeling a lot better about that situation. So those are the moves that I would make. Bringing Linderbaum back kind of takes the steam out of the Ravens' aggressiveness, but I think that's okay. It's such a big deal. Do I think we could get Mike Evans? I think it's unrealistic right now, but we'll see what happens with Linderbaum. The Ravens will have a lot more flexibility if they lose Linderbaum, but I still think then we have to go into overdrive to fix this offensive line. I would say it's unrealistic because he's going to get paid, and deservingly so. Dude puts up 1,000 every single year. I'd love to have Mike Evans, by the way. I'm just talking about from a realistic standpoint. I don't think the Ravens swing like that unless they lose Linderbaum. Then you never know. But receiver's not as big of a hole as offensive line. We need to protect Lamar and open up running lanes. Like, it is so important. Kenneth Walker already posting Chiefs Kingdom. Yeah, man. Physical runner for them. Beast. Super Bowl MVP. Seahawks didn't even use him a ton because they had Charbonnet. I mean, they used him a lot, but you know what I mean? Like, he split with Charbonnet, so it took a little bit of the steam. I think Kenneth Walker's unreal. It's a big pickup for the Chiefs. And they get Kelsey back for a year. And they got the 9th pick. Legit, didn't even know Stout was possibly out. He's a free agent. I'm not saying it's likely that he leaves, but right now he could technically sign with anybody. I think the Ravens keep him, though. They drafted him in the 4th round, and he's coming off his best season. It just doesn't make sense, and he's not going to cost a ton. So I think Stout stays, but that's not one of those deals you probably hear immediately. It's a smaller deal that just could get done whenever here. The main pressing thing today is Linderbaum to me. I think that's the type of deal that moves fast unless he just wants to sleep on it. But usually those big ticket free agent guys, it kind of moves quick. So hopefully he takes a couple calls. Hey, Raiders, what are you offering? 23 million. Giants 22. Baltimore says we'll offer 21. All right, cool. I'm coming back for $1 million less. Something like that. But he gets 25 plus, he's probably gone. I don't think the Ravens are paying that. Ravens better make some moves today. Yeah, I don't know. The Linderbaum one's the big one for me. After that, I'm chilling. I'm chilling because the other moves are a lot smaller. And we have, free agency continues now. The new league year technically doesn't even start till Wednesday at 4:00. So this is going to be an ongoing thing. A lot of the smaller deals, a lot of the older vets, like an Awuzie or something, they usually can sit. They might get signed weeks from now potentially. Some free agents sit for a while. The big ones though, like Linderbaum, we should hear something today. Man, Ravens re-signed Daniel Faalele, 6 years, 80 million. I would debate my fanhood at that point. Nah, I could never not be a Ravens fan, but I'd strongly consider it if they made a move like that. Announce that contract extension. That's on Lamar and the Ravens. Lamar didn't make that Twitter post for no reason, and it wasn't to get Max. Oh, you're saying his blush emoji post wasn't just for Max Crosby. I actually tend to agree with that. It's too similar to the last extension post. You know, he posted earlier that day, thank you, Jesus. Then he puts the blush emoji with the boom, which could be a part of the Max Crosby thing, but I also think they reworked Lamar's deal. By the way, Jesse Minter, Eric DaCosta were in Florida with Steve Bisciotti last week. Lamar lives in Florida. It would have been the perfect time to hammer out an extension and meet. So my theory is that it's done, but it's up to Lamar to actually do that. What else we got moving here? The Bucks re-sign tight end Cade Otton. Cool. What did he get? Guess the numbers aren't fully out there yet. Some of the smaller tight end contracts, which is, obviously affects Likely and Kohler's market a little bit. Some of the smaller tight end contracts were coming in at like 4 to 8 million, a little lower. Same with the center market. And it was before free agency. So obviously things get inflated when you actually hit free agency, but the center market was lower than I thought as well. A Connor McGovern signs for 13 million a year. I'm like, Linderbaum's coming back, man. Like, what do you mean? How do you pay Linderbaum 25 plus, but the next best center gets 13 and the highest paid center ever is 18? That's like a hell of a jump, but somebody might swing. DeMar, appreciate you with the 2. Draft Jacoby Lane round 3. He's a stud. I agree, man. There's so much depth at wide receiver in this draft. Like, the Ravens could get a starting wide receiver in the 2nd or 3rd round easily. And I know, historically, we've screwed that up with our mid-round receiver picks and, haven't hit home runs. Also, don't think we play guys a lot. Like, Tez Walker's got a ton of potential, but we got a new coaching staff now, so we'll see. We'll see how that goes. We can't bring in old habits to today, but love Jacoby Lane. He stand out at the combine for me too. Just great catch radius, great hands. I would be pumped for that. We didn't pay Jordan Stout yet. No, the only person we've re-signed is Tyler Huntley, and that was reported by his agent. So we'll see. If we lose Lindy, Likely, and Ricard, will we be in rebuild mode? Nah, hell no. Not after the Crosby trade and Lamar and Derrick Henry. And now we are in win now mode. It's the opposite of that. We definitely would need a backup O-line plan, like an emergency O-line plan if we lose Linderbaum. Losing Isaiah Likely, we just got to, re-sign Kohler and probably draft a tight end. I don't think it's going to kill us by any means. And Ricard, I don't know. We could bring back Ricard, but it really is dependent on, does Declan Doyle and this new Ravens offensive coaching staff want to use a fullback often? If not, doesn't make a lot of sense to bring him back. If they do, if they want a fullback in the offense, in the run game, then definitely bring back Ricard. It's not going to cost a ton. So Linderbaum would scare me, and I get why you're saying rebuild mode. The O-line would be kind of in rebuild mode, but not the team. We're in win now mode. They proved that trading 2 first-round picks. If you were in rebuild mode, you'd be acquiring more picks and not signing anybody. Hopkins is outright. I mean, not technically, he hasn't signed anywhere, but we ate some dead money to not extend him. So him and Wallace, which to me tells me a little bit that they're probably not going to, because you could have just extended them and not ate that. But we'll see. It's always a possibility. His contract's not huge, so you can make things work. But I would say less likely after we're eating dead money. You think AD or Gilman comes back? Yeah, one of them. Our Darius makes a lot. It's kind of my favorite. Could be a homer pick, or just how he plays really attracts me to want to sign him again. But we are signing a third safety. I mean, there's no doubt about it. because you need Kyle to be able to move around and be near the line of scrimmage. Obviously, we got Malachi Starks, but Jesse Minter is known for playing a lot of two high safety, similar to Mike McDonald, a lot of zone. You need another safety. So we are going to sign someone. My lead pick is Ardarius Washington, but we'll see. I wouldn't be mad at Gilman. I just love the way Ardarius plays. They might go a different direction too. Was hoping Lamar's extension would be signed now. We don't know that. No one knows. It could be. It could be. Just because he hasn't made a video. Last time he made a video in his car. It's like, Ravens flock, we're back for 5 years. Like, we'll hear from Lamar or the Ravens will put out a statement. So it's going to be radio silence until they want to tell everybody. And they don't need anything announced or official until Wednesday at 4. But the Ravens cleared cap to get the Crosby deal done. They have to be under the cap by Wednesday. They're not just going to hope they can get under the cap. You know, the Crosby trade couldn't even go through. You wouldn't even go through on Wednesday. So the Ravens aren't just like hoping and praying that they can figure out a way to clear some cap room. That strategy's already done. All right, what else going on? What else is going on? Kenneth Walker, 3-year deal worth up to $45 million. I hate when they say that. Okay, so it's actually 43, so it's close then. 28.7 guaranteed. That's a big deal. 43 million over 3 years is 14.35 million per year for Kenneth Walker. Solid payday. Definitely going to be the Chiefs' bell cow now. What's up, everybody? Appreciate you coming through, man. Just waiting for some Ravens news. We lost Draymond. Not surprised after the Crosby trade. He obviously had already been talking to New England or his agent because that deal got done very fast. Yeah. Waiting on Linderbaum news, man. I think that's the banger of the day. Whether we lose him or keep him, that's the banger of the day. Alec Pierce had a huge offer from the Commanders. That's all you said. Okay. Jordan Schultz. Alex Pierce had a huge offer from the Commanders. Well, he didn't hit free agency. Buzzer beater deal by the Colts to get that done. Man, Rams are signing Chiefs corner Jalen Watson after just trading for Trent McDuffie and signing him to the biggest deal. So they just completely took the Chiefs secondary here. And the Rams clearly are investing in their corners. That's the most recent deal right now. What do you guys think? You think Linderbaum stays? Yo, just hopping in. Anything happened for us yet? We lost Draymond. That's it. We re-signed Huntley over the weekend. Waiting on Linderbaum news, really. He's obviously shopping, talking to other teams, but no, we haven't. The Ravens haven't signed anyone. They've lost Draymond. That's the only real Ravens news today that has hit, but just kind of going through all the free agent signings here as they come through, waiting to get some news. You guys think Linderbaum leaves or not? Obviously, way more likely that he's officially in an open market right now. Anybody can offer anything. But what's that number? I think that's the real question. Commanders Pro Bowl left tackle Laramie Tunzel reached an agreement on a 2-year, $60.2 million contract with Washington. Boom. Big tackle signing or re-signing, extension. Yeah. Banger news of the day so far is Kenneth Walker to the Chiefs, probably. Who? Another big banger deal. If it would load. Jalen Phillips has agreed to a 4-year, $120 million deal with the Carolina Panthers, $80 million in guarantees. I was hearing nothing but how he's going back to the Eagles for the past few days, but he gets a bag in Carolina. 4-year, 120. I'm glad we got Crosby. Sheesh. 80 million in guarantees, $30 million a season for Jalen Phillips headed to Carolina. That's a big one. Yeah, insane bag. Crosby's making the same amount, by the way. Who would you rather have? Crazy. Yeah, the Eagles wanted Max. The Cowboys wanted Max. You know what really played a big role in the Ravens getting Crosby is they had the 14th pick. And a lot of the other team, I mean, the Cowboys, I guess, is different situation, but like the Bears were in the mix, the Eagles were in the mix, but they can't possibly offer high draft capital like the Ravens had. Giving up the 14th pick's a big deal versus mid 20s. So I think it ended up helping that we missed the playoffs and kind of landed us Max Crosby because we had the best draft capital to offer. But I'd rather have Max all day, every day for the same price as Phillips. And the Eagles just lost out because I know they were trying to get Phillips back. D-Hop to the Panthers. Is that official? Did I miss something? Or are you just saying that? Yeah, I don't think so. Could be though. 30 million a year is crazy. And honestly, good for him. He just took the bag. 100% took the bag. And we got a trade. The Colts trading Michael Pittman to the Steelers. In the division trade, Michael Pittman is in Pittsburgh with DK Metcalf. Don't know who the quarterback is. Not worried, but that's done. Colts re-sign Alec Pierce and then ship off Michael Pittman to the Steelers. Curious to see what his market value is. Like, what do they have to give up? Probably not an insane amount. The news is flowing. Welcome to free agency. Not Ravens news, but we're here talking about it all. Oh, it's late round pick swap, it seems. Diana Rossini said a late round pick swap between the two teams. So, not much. They basically just took on his contract, probably. I mean, good move. Good move for them to not have to give up much. If they would have gave up like a mid-round pick, I don't know if that would have been worth it, but late round pick swap, what's that? So you're basically just taking on his contract. So the Steelers got Michael Pittman and DK Metcalf with Will Howard at QB. We'll see if Rodgers comes back. Yeah, the 80 billion guaranteed, the Jalen Phillips deals. Nuts. I think I'd take Crosby too. Isaiah Likely notification's gonna hurt. Yeah, I know. I've been already mentally prepared to lose Likely. And I need to be mentally prepared to lose everybody, including Linderbaum. But my hopes are still high for Linderbaum. Everybody wanted Max. Now he's washed. Yeah, I know. It always goes like that. People just coping. Thank you, Tyler Luke. Yeah, missing the playoffs. Gave us the 14th pick. Gave us a huge edge in acquiring a superstar edge like Crosby. Nobody should be complaining about Max Crosby, man. Unless you just wanted to tear it down and go into rebuild mode, then yeah, we could keep the picks, but that's a generational player, Hall of Fame player, elite run defender, superstar pass rusher. I mean, we just haven't had anybody close to that level rushing the passer or just on the defensive line, man. Crosby's such a big addition. Likely wants to leave. He wants opportunity. Yeah. I don't think he like hates Baltimore or anything, but with Andrews in his way and with historically how it's went, even though we do have a new coaching staff, just having Andrews there, it makes it tough. He wants more opportunity. So I would say in that regard, he wants to leave Baltimore. But I don't think he has any like issues with Baltimore or Lamar or anything like that. And the Ravens paid up and said, "Hey, you're our tight end one, and you're getting all the volume. He'd probably come," but they're not going to do that. Not right now. Charlie Kohler is a free agent, hoping to get him back. I don't think that's going to cost an insane amount. Some of the other tight ends that were in his range got 5-6 million a year. So I think we could get Kohler back. Wiggins locking up Pittman. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hey, man, they're not even going to have time to throw it. They're not even going to have time. Crosby's coming. Mike Green's coming. Matabike, Travis Jones. Takes a ton of pressure off our secondary to have a to have a Max Crosby on the line. Yeah, the Steelers don't have a quarterback. I agree. And they're not going to find one out of nowhere either. Maybe Rodgers comes back. It makes sense hiring Mike McCarthy if he wants to play another year, but I'm not worried. Do I think there's any kind of strategy behind them not finalizing the Linderbaum deal? Like, see the market, lower value first. I think they both have deals worked out already and will wait. I think the strategy is on Linderbaum and his agent, probably mainly his agent. I'm sure Linderbaum's just kind of like, hey, do your thing. Um, the Ravens have already confirmed to offer Linderbaum the max, or not max, a market setting offer. So that means above 18 million. So it could just be 19, could be 20, somewhere around there. Hold on. We do got Ravens news. Sorry to interrupt that flow. The Ravens have officially signed their guard, John Simpson, if I can get there. Jeez, where's my. There we go. Malik Willis. Malik Willis to the Dolphins, and John Simpson returns to Baltimore. 3-year, 30 million. Interesting. So that's the right guard, right? Or left guard. Coach. So that's the Ravens' first move. John Simpson was good here. Super solid. To me, that's like the vet guard. You probably do a deal like this instead of a Wyatt Teller. So I think it's solid. It's not all we need to do. We need to bring back freaking Linderbaum, but I'm just saying I'm fine with stabilizing the guard room by getting John Simpson or bringing John Simpson back. He did well here. He's been doing well in New York. Quality player. We weren't going to get a superstar guard, you know what I mean? Like there's none available here. My my pick was Wyatt Teller, but they're familiar with Simpson. He's been here before. He's had success. I'm not mad at that at all. Hopefully we bring back Linderbaum though too. And then the O-line's feeling a lot better heading into the draft. $10 million steep. It is an aggressive signing. That's why it kind of tells me that that's our guard. Boom. Isaiah Likely to the Giants. There it is. 3-year, $40 million with upside to 47.5. I was bracing for it anyway. But it's still sad. Likely to the Giants. Reunites with Harbaugh and Greg Roman, who's on the staff. That's crazy. But hey, Harbaugh knows him. You know what I mean? That's a good point by Schaefer here that Simpson was playing left guard exclusively. So Emery could be in play at right guard. But I'll tell you what, John Simpson's our starting guard, left guard or right guard. Probably left guard since that's what he's played. But you don't pay a guy 3-year, 30 million, 10 million a year to not be your guy. So the Ravens brought back John Simpson to be a starting guard, probably left guard. And Isaiah Likely is a giant. Crazy, man. Stays with Harbaugh. It's a big deal for him. So now he gets the volume and the money, which is 13.3 million a year. So it's basically the same contract as Mark. I don't know why Likely, because the Ravens were negotiating. Maybe they just didn't go that high. I don't know. But Likely gets a little north of 13 million a year. Obviously has some bonuses that he can hit to get to 47.5. But pretty much the same deal as Mark Andrews. I think the Ravens should have kept Likely, but I don't know what that dynamic is. Like, did Likely deny that deal? Did they offer the same deal and he denied it? And now he's just got to take it because that's what the open market is. And he's going to be the starter. I'm not sure. I got some super chats. Sorry, guys. I was wrapped up in the news. It got crazy there for a second. Appreciate you, Young Brew, for the 5. Franchise Linderbaum. We passed the franchise tag deadline, so we can't do that. Get first rounds back if they don't come to terms. Yeah, we can't franchise tag him anymore. That deadline was last Tuesday. So we just got to sign him. He's a free agent right now. Wap, appreciate you with the 2. Trade for Trent Williams, 4th round pick. It really depends on this Linderbaum deal if we're going to be able to even make any other moves. But I think we just made our move. We got John Simpson. That's our guard. We got tackles with Ronnie and Roger. Trent's an older player, so I don't think we'd replace, it's not like a backup plan. I think they're going to try to develop Vincent as the backup. I think if we bring back Linderbaum, the Ravens O line they're kind of done. John Simpson was the move. Christian with the 5. Appreciate you. We 100% need Trig in the third. EDC needs to do this right. Yeah. There's a lot of depth in this draft, and we got a ton of picks. So I would not mind Trig at all. This Isaiah Likely news is kind of crazy, though. Mainly because it's Harbaugh. I'm not surprised that we lost it all. It's just crazy that he's going or that he's staying with John Harbaugh over at the Giants. But hey, man, Likely's going to ball. Nah, John Simpson is better than Voorhees and Fa'alele, I think. I mean, he's had a lot more success here. I'd like to let me see. Let me pull up. Oh man, I knew that screen was gonna mess up. 1 second. Simpson's an upgrade, but it's not a big splash signing. I didn't think the vet guard was going to be a splash signing. It's just who they want to fill in and compete there, to be honest. Jets signing former Bengals pass rusher Joseph Osei. Bears signed Gallimore, 2-year deal, defensive tackle. Man, there's so much news going right now. This is like absurd, bro. So Hensley's here. He's slotting John Simpson in at left guard right out the gates, which makes sense. He's only played left guard. That's what he was playing when he was here. So Simpson probably does take over left guard. We'll see if Linderbaum comes back. Right guard. We'll see if we add any other competition, but definitely could be Emory Jones Jr. too, who played right tackle, by the way, at LSU and is used to that right side. So Emory naturally is on the right side, except last year. So I think maybe they are bumping him to the right side to compete. Maybe draft another guy, have someone else in the mix there. But man, we need Tyler Linderbaum back. We get Tyler Linderbaum back. I'm feeling so good. I didn't expect a super splash guard signing. Honestly, I'm a little surprised we paid $10 million a year to get John Simpson, but that's who they like. That's their guy, and he's done well. Yeah, it's probably going to be Emory. I agree. I think he's just saying TBD because he's got to win the job, but I agree. Leaning right guard, Emory Jones Jr. This O line's mainly filled out if we bring Linderbaum back and we can just draft. John Simpson was here before. Let's pull up. That's what I was going to do. The news is freaking everywhere, so I'm all over the place too. Let's just see when he was here again. It was like 4 years ago. Signed him to the practice squad 2022, so 4 years ago, yeah. Guess the Ravens feel like he's the one who got away. It's hard to look at his Jet stats too. I like the Simpson move. He's 28. He's Best footballs right now. There's so many updates flowing through right now. This is wild. I am surprised the Ravens made a move that quick too to get a guard. That wasn't the first move I expected to get done, but John Simpson is the starting left guard of the Ravens, most likely. No, facts. The whole O-line sucked on the Jets, so it's like you can't really look at someone's numbers and just be like, "He sucks" because he was on the Jets, you know? I just I don't think that's fair. Can't find the Simpson news? Rappaport tweeted it out right here. 3-year, 30 million, 10 million a year. He's only played left guard, so most likely he's our left guard, starting left guard over Voorhees. Why does this screen keep going up? Was not the first move I expected, but I'm not mad about adding a vet guard. He's not even that old. He's 28. And the Ravens they know him. You know what I mean? He played here before, got a chance, and then kind of cashed out, went to the Jets, and now he's back. Similar to like I guess not that similar to Zeitler because he played here longer, and he's not as old. But we had Simpson for a brief stint. He played well. Then he got a payday at the Jets, and now he's back. Ten penalties. I know. I look at honestly, the numbers aren't great. The numbers aren't great for Simpson, but it's tough to look at that situation and just solo him out. I'd be curious to go watch some Jets game and just watch Simpson now. You know, I didn't know we were gonna get him, so I'm not like I haven't been prepared to like, hey, I was watching every snap of John Simpson this year, but he played well here. I do know that. I remember those days. So he'll be the starting left guard. I thought Simpson was older too, 28. And with this new coaching staff, he's just entering his prime. So we're going to get his prime here. We had him. The Ravens obviously know John Simpson. We lost him to the Jets. He does all right there. Now we're bringing him back. 3-year, $30 million deal to be the starting left guard, I assume. It's an upgrade over Voorhees. And then the right guard now will be Emory Jones Jr. and whoever else he's competing with. What's the chance Voorhees bounces to the right? Yeah, I think Voorhees could compete wherever. I mean, I would imagine left guard is the base just because that's where he's been practicing for a few years now. But Voorhees is going to want to compete and get any opportunity that he possibly can. So I would imagine if I'm Voorhees, I'm taking whatever the Ravens need, you know? So, hey, you want to play some right guard? Hell yeah. Like that should be his mindset. But I think Emory Jones Jr. is in the lead at right guard. John Simpson's definitely the starting left guard. You got Ronnie, you got Roger. Let's bring back Tyler. Likely will be missed, 100%, man. Love Isaiah Likely. And he's on the Giants now for the same deal as Mark. Crazy. 13 a year. We can't have a rookie center for this year. That's what I've been saying, man. I completely agree. That is so scary. I've seen that as like a theorized backup plan. You're like, oh, let's just develop a rookie center. And it's just like, oh man, we went young and had some projects the past few years with Voorhees and Fa'alele. And I know it's a different coaching staff, but it just scares me to be that young and unproven. At least John Simpson's proven. He's solid, man. He's been a starter for years now. He's been here before. So, and he's 28. He's like entering his best time. So, I think the Ravens are going to get the best years out of John Simpson here. But I do not want to go young on the O line. I do not want to, obviously Emery's young, so you can have a spot. Rodgers still young and growing as well, but I don't want to go unproven rookie center. That is terrifying. Trying to catch up, man. You guys are going crazy with the comments. Titans signed Mitch Trubisky. Packers signed Kingsley. So much news. This is insane, man. It always goes like this, but usually I'm on my phone like you guys or whatever, and like now I'm live talking about it, so it's just like chaos. Yeah. How you guys feeling? About Linderbaum, about losing Likely, about losing Draymond, about signing John Simpson? That's the news so far. Think Lindy's gone? Possible. We should know today. I would expect him to be talking to teams. Obviously free agency opened an hour ago. He's going to have a lot of suitors. He's clearly the best center on the market. But what's that mean in terms of price? Because you don't just run and take another deal. You come back to Baltimore and you say, hey, Vegas is offering 24. Like you give them a number. Can you meet this? Because I don't think Lindy's just dying to leave Baltimore. That doesn't make any sense. The Ravens clearly want him to. So the number would have to be so far apart from where the Ravens are at for that to happen. Yeah, I don't think we should just plug in Emery for sure. That's why I said he's got to win the job. He's got to compete for it. My guess is that he wins the job, but that's just a guess, Like I want competition there. I don't want to have him unchallenged. Last year, Lele wasn't challenged a ton and was kind of just given the job. I think we need strong O-line competition. Let the best man win. Nah, Lindy's not gone yet. No news. I think the Simpson move means we're not keeping Linderbaum. So then we'd have to have a backup center option. We're not just going to have no center. And John Simpson plays left guard. I think we can afford that deal and Linderbaum. But we'll see. John Harbaugh's a terrorist. He knew Likely was the right one. It is crazy that Likely's still with Harbaugh. And Greg Roman's over there on that staff. Crazy. Are there any veteran centers out there if we miss on Linderbaum? Let's take a look at who's still available. The best backup was McGovern, who just re-signed with the Bills yesterday for $13 million per season. So there are some veterans available here. Pochich, Mays. I think Pochich is probably the biggest name here. I don't know, man. It's possible, but plan A is get Linderbaum back here by all means necessary in my mind. I think there's a big drop off. Yeah, I think it's good that we haven't heard much on Linderbaum right now. He's clearly got his agent's clearly talking to a bunch of teams. So they just need to fill out the price. What's the market? I felt real good yesterday when McGovern signed for $13 million a year. That is just such a gap. And obviously Linderbaum is going to be the highest paid. So we're talking 19 plus. Could he get or low 20s for sure, but like 25, 27, that sounds nuts to me, but I don't know, man. I'm not worried about the O-line right now either if Linderbaum comes back. Mark's gonna get some volume this year. If we resign Kohler, I think he would have an uptick in volume too. But yeah, obviously likely officially gone. Opens up a lot of opportunity. I think we will draft a tight end as well. Hey, so many comments. Appreciate you guys. Let's catch up on the news here. Bucks just signed Kenneth Gainwell, 2-year, $14 million contract. Balled out for Pittsburgh last year. $10 million guaranteed. Demario Davis, 2-year, $22 million to the Jets. You get a veteran linebacker. What else I missed? Austin Hooper back to the Falcons. 1 year, $3.25 million. See, these tight end deals have been pretty low. I think we'd be able to re-sign Kohler for good value. But that might not happen super fast either. It doesn't have to happen immediately. Donovan, appreciate you with the 2. What do you think of John Simpson? I think I'm surprised by the signing a little bit, but he's been here before. He's done well here before. Like Schaefer says here, I just saw this too. And when we pulled it up on his stats, we saw the penalties, 7 holding penalties. So he's had some holding issues in the past. But that was young. That was young fighting for an opportunity in the NFL, John Simpson. John Simpson quickly cashed out, left Baltimore, went to the Jets, and then obviously the entire Jets O line hasn't been that great. So I think he's our starting left guard. I feel comfortable about him only being 28, and the Ravens are about to get his best years. Like, he's better than he was when he first came here. He was fighting for an opportunity in the league. He's been a starter for the Jets now for a few years since then. Now he's back for the prime of his career to be the guard for the Ravens. So I definitely don't mind it. I knew we weren't going to take a major swing at guard. There's no one available here. My pick was Wyatt Teller. They went John Simpson. So is it the dream scenario? No, but I don't mind it at all. John Simpson's good, man. I think he just tweeted too. Oh, yeah. Unfinished business. I don't even follow him, probably. Yeah, let me follow him. What up, John? Welcome back. Damn. All right. We just lost Jordan Stout to Harbaugh. So we don't have a punter. That one stings. The Giants and former Ravens punter Jordan Stout agree to a 3-year, $12.3 million deal that makes him the highest paid punter in the NFL. John Harbaugh's taking the old Ravens. Well, shoot, man. Ravens got to go get a punter. Doesn't like break the team by any means, but I didn't see that one coming. Giants are plucking us. John Harbaugh's getting revenge, man. Takes Likely and Jordan Stout from Baltimore. What a deal for Stout. Highest paid punter in the game. Well, we wasted a 4th round pick on him. Love Stout coming off his best year, but like that didn't work out. You don't draft a punter in the 4th round and then just lose him. In his first few years, he was not the top punter, you know. So Ravens were not paying up for a punter, and we got to go find one. Jordan Stout and Isaiah Likely join Harbaugh in New York. Likely, I'm not surprised at all. This here, losing Jordan Stout, I am surprised. But Ravens weren't clearly ready to reset the punter market with Jordan Stout because he gets a 3-year 12.3, which is the highest. 4.1 million a year. And the Ravens got to go find another punter, which probably isn't impossible. Haven't been studying punter free agents. Do we just go draft another one? Or who's available at punter? Oh, Townsend. Listen, I love Stout, but losing a punter doesn't kill you. Yeah, yeah, this is definitely not gonna have Ravens fans feeling good about John Harbaugh right now. He is plucking Ravens, former Ravens at this point. Dang. So Ravens may sign a punter in free agency, or they could draft one again. I think another punter just got signed too. So many signings. Isaiah Likely would be used all over the field as the Giants feel he's a true game-breaking type of player. Yeah, he is. Smart. Another big punter deal. Former Vikings punter Ryan Wright is signing a 4-year, $14 million deal that includes $8 million guaranteed with the Saints. So, punters getting paid out here. And the Ravens said, we're not doing it yet. I don't know. I didn't think we'd lose Stout, man. That one stings a little from a surprise standpoint, though. Like I said, it ain't the end of the world, man. You lose a punter, you can find another punter somewhere, but didn't see it coming. Did they seriously sign the backup QB before Lamar? No, I don't think so. Huntley's just announced because Drew Rosenhaus is his agent, and everyone that has an agent tells Schefter and Rappaport or Jordan Schultz or whoever they talk to tweet it out. So Lamar doesn't have an agent. You'll never hear about anything done until Lamar tells you. Just like last extension, 3 years ago, Lamar made a video in his car announcing, hey, I'm here for another 5 years. So the Ravens or Lamar will make that announcement. I believe the deal's already at least agreed upon because they have to clear this cap. So I don't think they actually signed Huntley before Lamar. I think they're both getting done. You just don't hear as much when you don't have an agent. The reason you get all this information and all these leaks and all these reports is because agents know the top reporters and insiders, and they just tweet it. They just tweet it because the engagement's going to be there. That's the way to reach the masses. That's the way to announce the deal. Hey, Schefter, tweet this. Copy, paste, boom. You know what I mean? And Schefter's got the following. He's got the credibility. So it's a insider game. But when you don't have an agent, you're outside of that game. EDC is not asleep. He clearly knew what that number was. I don't think he lets, or any GM really, lets their own guys walk unless you just decide not to. You know, obviously the Ravens don't want to pay Jordan Stout to be the highest paid punter in the NFL. That's the reality of it. And Harbaugh is taking some guys that he knows. So Likely and Jordan Stout to the Giants. Insane. And it always does feel, as long as we get Linderbaum back, I'm feeling good today. But it always does feel like the initial wave of free agency, because the Ravens never really take big swings like early in free agency usually. So it feels like we just lose everyone. And it's like, what's going on? What's going on? I just don't think the Ravens are going to go out and pay insane top dollar for a lot of guys in free agency. They just traded for Max Crosby. They're trying to get Linderbaum back. I guarantee it. If we lose Linderbaum, we're going to have to pivot. And we signed John Simpson, so I guess they did make a move, but it's not an insane move. It's just, value guard signing. I don't know, 10 million a year is actually decent. If we retain Lindy, what's next afterwards, Ryan, in your opinion? Not too much, probably. We just signed our guard and John Simpson. We get Linderbaum back. I think it's a lot of money just spent on the O-line. I think we bring back some smaller guys like Kohler, Awuzie. We sign a third safety, whether that's bringing back Gilman or Ardarius or going and getting another safety. I think those are the small moves that happen. If we lose Linderbaum, we may have to get more aggressive. But, if we bring Linderbaum back, I think the Ravens are going to have a pretty chill, quiet free agency. The big move was bringing Linderbaum back, trading for Max Crosby, and then obviously finding a starting guard, which I think they just made clear our starting left guard is John Simpson by paying him $10 million a year, 3-year, $30 million. But he's 28, prime of his career. Let's go. Coach him up. I think he's a solid plug in there. We weren't going to find a superstar guard to answer. Just can't lose Linderbaum. Yep. Half the guards fixed. Let Emery. I think Emery probably wins the right guard battle, but hopefully we bring in either a draft pick or a smaller veteran signing to compete there. But the guard situation is kind of taken care of with the John Simpson deal. At least that's the plan. We'll see how it plays out. Nobody knows, but that's the plan. Dwayne Ledford's the key here in this whole new offensive coaching staff in general. We got to hope that they lift a lot of guys on this team, which is why you go and get an entirely new coaching staff. You know how important coaching is. So I think that's big. Need corner. Yeah. I don't think if we lose Linderbaum, we'll have more money, but I don't think we're going to have like a ton of money to go really, really spending at corner, but bringing back an Awuzie or finding another vet, I think that's smart. Kobe Bryant to the Bears. Bears signing former Seahawks safety Kobe Bryant. Patriots sign fullback Reggie Gilliam. 3-year deal worth up to 12, $6 million guaranteed. I love when they put up to as like the main number. Up to is like if everything goes right and they hit every bonus. It's not the actual number. The Ravens got to go find another punter. That is one thing that I just did not see happening. But he got a bag. He followed Harbaugh to New York. They paid up. Jordan Stout's a giant. Isaiah Likely's a giant. Crazy. I appreciate you, GG. Welcome in. Yeah, Townsend's probably the top free agent punter. I was looking at that. But do the Ravens go spending or do they just draft another punter in the 4th round again? You know what I mean? For dirt cheap. I don't know. They didn't want to pay Jordan Stout to be the highest paid punter. So they're going to have to go find somebody. Yeah, I don't think it's crazy complicated to replace a punter. You could do it through free agency on a smaller deal, or you could do it just through the draft again, like we did with Jordan Stout. 3-year, $40 million deal for Kobe. Solid safety deal. Man, I want to play the Giants bad. Not only do they have Harbaugh, they now have Isaiah Likely and Jordan Stout. And Greg Roman's over there. Yeah. Shout out Tyler Loop. Let's go. Yeah, they took Stout and Likely. John Harbaugh definitely has influence there. He knows those guys well. I mean, he his words mean something there when he's had history with these guys. But what is going to happen with Tyler Linderbaum? That's really what I'm waiting on. Everything else is like minor. And finding a guard, but we did that. It's John Simpson. Or at least that's where they're putting their chips. Oh, he changed his profile pic. Let's go. Ravens. Welcome back, John. He had a Jets profile pic when the first time I looked at it like 20 minutes ago. Welcome back. Starting left guard, most likely, just because that's where he's played. Here's the Ravens free agents still. Safeties, Gilman and Ardarius, D-Hop, Van Noy, Linderbaum, biggest domino to fall, Ricard, Tylan Wallace, Noteboom, Ajabo, Wouzier. I'd bring back a Wouzier all day. Charlie Kohler, I would bring in all day after losing Isaiah Likely, Keaton Mitchell. I'm telling you, we're in a really good spot as long as Tyler Linderbaum resigns. Losing Stout was surprising, no doubt, but it's not the end of the world. It's a punter. You can find another punter. Another tight end off the market. Titans signing ex-Giants tight end Daniel Bellinger. Geez, why are the punters getting signed? Another punter, I think. Yeah. Another punter deal. Former Dolphins punter Jake Bailey signing 3-year, $9 million deal. To who? Yeah, with who? Thanks, Schefter. I don't know. TBD. Ricard could be on the way out too. That's really dependent on the coaching staff. Like, do they want to have a fullback used often in this offense? I don't know. Historically, like Ben Johnson offenses in, Doyle's background would lead to no, but they could construct their own system with, the personnel that they want. So I don't know. I would not be shocked if Ricard signs elsewhere. Appreciate you with the 2, Dorian. Sign Linderbaum, Calais, vet corner, then draft. Yeah, I'd be down with that. Calais is 40, which is crazy, but I'm good with D-line depth, especially if we do have Matabike back and Travis Jones. Calais is just like a depth option, with John Jenkins and stuff. So I'd be cool with bringing Calais back. Vet corner, we could bring back a Awuzie. But yeah, the main one's Linderbaum, man. We get Linderbaum back. The rest of this is just a lot more minor. We can fix smaller holes. We still have the entire draft. I'm not stressing at all if we bring Linderbaum back. Losing Stout does, put a little wrinkle where it's like, oh, we have to now go get a punter, but I don't think that's an impossible feat by any means. Cade Mays, one of the backup center options that we were just going over, just signed with the Lions. 3-year, $25 million, which is $8 million a year. So McGovern signs for $13 million a year. Cade Mays signs for $8 million a year. I cannot possibly believe that Linderbaum's getting 25 plus million. I think it's low 20s, around 20, 21, and the Ravens do it. We'll see. But these center contracts are not expensive at all. None of them have been. And the highest paid center in NFL history is Creed Humphrey at $18 million. So just to be tossing that Linderbaum's going to get 25, 27 just seems so unrealistic. Like, why? Is he the greatest lineman of all time? So the Ravens' backup center options are going away as well. Yeah, Jeff just said it too. He's one of the top remaining free agent centers behind Linderbaum. If Linderbaum departs, we got to go to the draft. There's not many options. Cade Mays and McGovern were some of the top options in free agency, and they're signing small deals compared to what Linderbaum's rumored to get. Small deals. Hey, Ravens, to the bowl. Appreciate you for becoming a member, man. Appreciate you. Appreciate all you guys coming through, man. I didn't know how this live was going to go. I never went live during free agency, and I was like, let's just hang out. Let's just hang out and go through all the deals and see what happens. Linderbaum move is the main move, though. But these backup center options, deals make me feel even better. Nobody's getting paid. So I do think Linderbaum becomes the highest paid, no doubt. But 25? Nah, man. Brian Thomas Jr. would be nice. Yeah. There were some tweets floating around, but I think the Jags, the offer they got was a 5th round pick. So I wouldn't move him either. That's crazy. Still 2 years left on his rookie deal. We still have Corey Bullock, who, like Emery, shined in limited reps. If we don't bring Lindy back, which I want, get a vet that he can compete with. Just bring Lindy back, though. No news equals good news. I agree. No news means that they are talking to some teams, figuring out a price, and they're still negotiating. If he got a crazy offer, it would just be done. You know what I mean? The Ravens would just say no. There'd be no like waiting here. So I think he's talking to teams. I also agree. Bullock in the mix. He looked good last year and is young, super young. So has a lot of life in front of him, or a lot of career in front of him. So does Emery. Emery's probably in the lead to win the right guard spot right now if Simpson's at left guard, but we need competition. We need Linderbaum back, and we need to add a little competition. That could be done through the draft, though. I don't think it's pressing at this point. As a Ravens fan, I'm stressing out. I know. It always feels like this right in the beginning. I'm feeling a lot better because we got Crosby. If we were like rolling in, and hopefully we get Linderbaum back, but if we were rolling into this with like no moves, I'd be like, oh man, what is going on? But we just traded for Max Crosby a couple days ago. We re-signed Tyler Huntley. We signed John Simpson to be our starting guard. And we've lost some guys to the Giants. Jordan Stout, Isaiah Likely, and Draymond Jones signed a good deal with the Patriots. So lost some guys. Not surprised about those losses, though, outside of Stout. I can't believe we got Crosby either. It makes all this just like not the end of the world. Once the Linderbaum thing falls, like once we know at least, then it's like, all right, man, we're good. The rest of the things are minor. The Crosby thing is massive. Yeah, Kenneth Walker to the Chiefs. That was one of the first moves to pop off at the very beginning of free agency. So like an hour and a half ago, but big signing for them. Probably takes him out of the Jeremiah Love race in the draft, I would imagine. If he even falls that far, he's probably going ahead of the Chiefs. But there was a lot of mocks and reports saying that he could end up in KC. Probably not now. Kenneth Walker's the guy. Big move for them, though. And Kelsey returned to the Chiefs, too. Trenches were the main focus. Lindy is way too important to let him slide. Completely agree. Got to bring Linderbaum back. Hoping we re-sign Kohler. Me too. Especially after losing Likely. Like, we're not just rolling in with Mark. And I think we will draft a tight end in mid rounds or something. But I'd love to bring back Kohler. I don't think it's going to cost a ton. It just makes a lot of sense. Give him more opportunity. You know what I mean? He was the third tight end on our roster. So now he gets a little bit more opportunity if he comes back. 25 mil for Linderbaum. Yeah. No. I'm saying no too at that point. But I don't think that's realistic. I think that's just tweets. I think that's like agents saying, "Hey, we're hearing that it's 25." So we'll see what those real numbers end up being. But somebody could toss it. It's just a massive, massive reset. $8 million jump from the last center. Any other news? It was rolling hot there for a second. We got a kicker signing. Falcons signed Nick Folk, 41-year-old. Yeah. Like Jonas said, with Connor, like we've been talking about, with Connor McGovern re-signing in Buffalo, with Mays going to the Lions, there's just not many starting centers out there. There's really not a backup plan outside of the draft, which is risky to have a rookie center and just hope it all goes well and hope he's got snap chemistry with Lamar. You got to bring Tyler Linderbaum back. I've been saying it for months now, especially the last few weeks, saying I'm still confident. It just makes too much sense. It makes too much sense. The Ravens will have a pretty smooth free agency. It'll be kind of boring after Linderbaum, you know what I mean? Like, we lost some key guys, but we're not going to bring in a ton of big names or anything, but that's fine. We got Crosby and we bring Linderbaum back. Lamar extension gets announced so everyone can feel better. We're good. We can head to the draft. Sign some depth guys in free agency for sure. Depth corner, depth safety. You know, those are spots we need to add to, but we'll be in a great spot if we bring Linderbaum back. And we can replace a punter. But it does suck. I didn't see that coming. Likely chose to leave for more money only to land right where he started with John Harbaugh. And more opportunity. I think that's a missed element. It's like this, it's similar money to what Mark got. It's the opportunity, I think, you know. Um, and obviously, maybe the Giants were willing to pay a little bit more because Harbaugh's there. But I think Likely knows, hey, I'm a focal point of this offense. He's not going to be the focal point, though. They got freaking Malik Neighbors. Like, he's not Likely's just part of that, offensive weaponry, which would be good. That's good for them. I think Isaiah Likely, Malik Neighbors, you get Scatabo back. They're probably going to draft somebody, whether it's another running back or a wide receiver. Like, Giants got some weapons. Isaiah Likely's going to get some targets and volume that he probably wasn't going to get with Mark there. So I think it's more about opportunity because the money's similar. That 25 million is Linderbaum's agent trying to test the market. Yeah, I know. Those tweets, man, people get like carried away with the agent reports weeks before. And I get it too. I honestly used to get like super emotional about everything I see on X and everything. And like just as you get older and like over time, I think you just start to kind of see the pattern. It's like, oh, well, this happens every year. Every year, these same over exaggerated reports start flowing out. I brought one up earlier about Draymond, where there was a report saying Draymond's going to get 20 million a season. And even he reposted it and was like, I don't think so. And then he signs with the Patriots for 13, which is a great deal for Draymond, but it's nowhere near where the reported viral tweet was. So that's just agents doing their job. Their job is to maximize value, and they use insiders and reporters to funnel that information to the fans of the NFL. Yeah, Stout is a giant. Yep, so is Likely. Isaiah Likely, Jordan Stout. Man, there's been so much news since then. Likely's a giant. Jordan Stout's a giant. Highest paid punter in the NFL. 3-year, $12.3 million deal. Lindy ain't going anywhere near 25 million. He'd be lucky to get 22 now that we see what the centers are going for. Yeah. I've been saying it, man. I agree. I I don't know how he resets it by that much. McGovern gets 13, Mays gets 8. There's like no one left. How competitive do you guys think the Giants are going to be right out the gates? Like, what's a successful season? Fringe playoff team making the playoffs? I don't know. I definitely don't think they're a contender. And I wish we played them this year so bad, man. I don't even have any beef with the Giants, but I just want to play. I want to play hardball, especially after these little, taking Stout. Now we got like a little. The Chargers used to kind of take a lot of the former Ravens, and now you got the Giants taking the former Ravens. It's whoever's connected with the Raven organization just continues to pluck some players, and yeah, I wish we played the Giants. I don't think they'll be great. I think they could be a tiny, like little under 500 or something. They should have a better year than they've been having. Maybe they're a fringe playoff team, but I think that's like a really successful season for them. I'd be shocked if they're like contending for anything. Yeah, 7 to 8 wins. That sounds right. Likely lost half his money just off taxes alone. New Jersey. Yeah, that's facts. And honestly, like I said earlier, I think it's more about opportunity. I think the Giants are gonna make Likely, they're gonna get him. Boom, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Sorry to interrupt. We're chilling. It just broke. Where you at, Schefter? I just got the freaking update on my phone. Tyler Linderbaum's back. Whenever Schefter tweets it out. Why is it not loading? I'll just go to Schefter's page. Tyler Linderbaum is back. Did he edit it? Oh, with the Raiders. Oh. There's a new version of this post. Well, we just lost him then. I'm tripping. Oh, we lost Tyler Linderbaum. Oh, 3-year, 81 million. Yikes. He gets 27 million a year. Well, we're wrong. I'm wrong. Dang, bro. Well, all right. Who's the center? O-line question marks are gonna start pouring in here. Dang, I can't believe it. Sorry, guys. I got freaking excited. I saw the RA and I'm like, dude, where's it at? And it's freaking Raiders. Damn, man. 27 million a year. He did reset it. Wow. Reset the center market by 9 million a season. Yikes, man. Wow. Welp, we got a little more money to spend, I guess. Cardinals signed Tyler Algier, man. Sheesh. That sucks, man. I mean, I get why he left now. I get the Ravens aren't paying 27 million a year. But what's the plan? What's the plan? I don't know. Concerned about the O-line. Was arguable at 20. Yeah, well, I would have paid 20 all day. I would have paid low 20s. 27 is crazy. Man, so who's going to be center for the Ravens? That sucks. That sucks. It sucks even worse that I half read it and saw RA and I was like, he's back. He's not back. He's not back. He just completely demolished the market and got what he wanted. His agent did his job. 27 million a season. He's going to go over and rebuild with the Raiders. They're not competing anytime soon. Dang, man. That one hurts. That one hurts more than any of the other ones to me. Diana Rossini. The Ravens worked hard to try to retain Tyler Linderbaum. The Commanders and Browns also inquired. The price was just too high. He gets 27 million a season. 3-year, 81 million. That includes 60 million guaranteed. Wow. Well, what are we thinking, guys? Who's the center? Who's going to be the center? Sheesh. Well, appreciate you with the 2. Not worth 27 million a year onto the draft. Yeah. Obviously, he's not worth 27 million a year. That's crazy. Lawrence, appreciate you with the 2. Lindy's average center isn't 27. Lindy V's an average center isn't 27 million. Yeah, I mean, it's not worth 27 million. It's not. And I wanted Linderbaum as bad as anybody. But that's insane. Yeah, look at Ari's tweet here. Linderbaum, 27 million a season. The next highest center, Creed Humphrey, 18. I mean, it's like a massive overpay. That's what I would call an irrational market. But dang, that's a hole, man. That's a hole. I don't know. Yeah, on to the draft, I guess. We got a little bit more money to spend, though. Clearly, the Ravens, I mean, as you just saw Diana Rossini's tweet, the Ravens were trying to retain Linderbaum, probably were willing to pay 20 or, around there. So now they have that money. So what do we go do? That's an insane, insane yearly value. It sucks. It sucks that we lost Tyler Linderbaum, but how in the world do you pay 27 million for a center? You can't. You can't. I disagree with this. I don't think Lamar's holding out on re-signing. I just think that they announce it. Revenge for Max Crosby. Yeah, you guys took Crosby. We're gonna overpay. I mean, massive, massive contract there. Tyler just wanted the money. I guess when it's that substantial of a difference, you do take it. You know what I mean? I was saying he would return to Baltimore if it was a $2 million difference or something, but to top the market by 9 million, that's tough. That you might want to take that 9 million per year difference. So that's life changing. Sheesh. Next man up, Corey Bullock. Time to seize your opportunity. Yeah, and the draft. We're obviously going to draft a center. I mean, there's no doubt about it. We're going to draft a center. Now it turns to who the hell are we drafting? Linderbaum's a traitor. It is crazy to see him gone, man. But we got more flexibility. We do have more flexibility. So now I'm very curious, like where do the Ravens go? Yeah, too much. Nobody should have 27 million for a center. You know what I mean? Like there's a reason the highest paid center was 18 million. You don't pay centers that kind of money. But it happened. It happened. Man. Crazy. Jonas Schaefer. Yeah. I feel that though. I feel that though, Jonas. I was feeling the same way. 9 a.m. It's like how the Ravens can re-sign Tyler Linderbaum and completely win, which I agree. That was like all we had to do. Not for 27, though. 27 million a year. What in the world? Sheesh. Massive overpay. But they had cap space. I mean, it did reset the center market now. Now, like the next best center is probably getting 22 or something, but wow. It isn't worth it, man. It isn't worth 27 million a year. And I love Tyler Linderbaum. And I am worried about like exactly how this O-line shapes out here. Because now we got to draft somebody or Bullock. We got to, we're really relying on coaching to kind of get these guys ready and coach them up, which is such an unknown with the new coaching staff. I have high hopes. I'm excited, but nobody knows. All bets are off now. Ravens can get to work. Yeah, that does. I mean, I'm sure the Ravens had a backup plan. Like, hey, if this goes this way, we go this way. But it definitely gives them more flexibility. So I am interested to see what other moves they make because they were planning to pay Tyler at least 20, and now they aren't spending that. So where's that go? How does that get divvied up? Appreciate you with the Tuesday. Our O-line is more sus than ever now. He took a step back right now, but still very early, TBD. But yeah, I mean, it's hard to see the full picture at the moment. You know, John Simpson's our left guard, but after losing Linderbaum, it's like, oh gosh, that's all we did. You know, I think the tag price was around that number, but that's an insane number. It was high 20s. It was over 25. So I don't think that was a smart move either. I wouldn't be paying Linderbaum $27 million a year or even anywhere close to it. And if you do the franchise tag, I guess you could trade him maybe, but if other teams know that, you'd lose a little value, and then you can't keep that cap number there because you take the full cap hit of the franchise. So you can't move the money around. So the Ravens would be really handicapped by doing that. And I just don't think they believe in paying a center that much. Nor should they. I can't believe he got $27 million a year. Insanity, man. So, yeah, where do we pivot? We lost Jordan Stout. Giants already putting the tweet out. Yeah, all our big name free agents are gone. So we either go shopping elsewhere, sign some smaller deals back, or just hit the draft. But we got money now. So I don't know what they do. I don't know where they pivot. I honestly didn't see Linderbaum leaving, but now, I mean, you get $27 million. I get it. What are you supposed to do? All right. Next piece of news in the NFL. Travis Etienne, I think, just signed with the Saints. Yeah. Etienne heads to the Saints. Dang. Yeah. Linderbaum basically just got like really good tackle money at center. How much money do the Ravens have? No one knows till Wednesday. There's not a single person that has like a real updated cap number because they haven't announced any Lamar restructure or extension or anything. So it's just all fake money at this point, and everybody's money's moving around. The fact is, by Wednesday at 4:00, every single NFL team has to be under the cap. You know, before today, like last night, the Ravens were negative 18 million or whatever after the Crosby trade, but that's just what's reported. They obviously have to be under. They already have made that move. They have already have that strategy in place to clear that cap. So I don't know how much actual money they have, but they were just willing to pay Tyler Linderbaum 20-ish million. You know, it's not like the Ravens weren't in the mix of Linderbaum. They just weren't going to 27. So the Ravens were willing to spend another 20 and have Crosby, and they signed John Simpson to 10 million a year. Like the Ravens they're spending money. They have money, but no one knows what the updated cap number is. We'll have that information by the new league year start on Wednesday. And Giants lose somebody finally. Wendell Robinson signs with the Titans, reunites with Brian Daboll, who's now the OC. Crazy times, man. We lost everybody. Just kidding. Stout, Linderbaum, Draymond, likely gone. Quickly, too. I knew the Linderbaum thing would happen quick. I just thought he was coming back to Baltimore, but after seeing the deal, no, I didn't. Not for $27 million. Hell no. No chance. And we did make our guard signing, 3-year, $30 million deal for John Simpson, who was here before. 28 years old, entering his prime. We're getting the best years here out of him. Hopefully plays a little bit better than he was in New York, but it's hard to look at those New York numbers. I want to go back and watch. When I get some time, probably like tomorrow, I'm going to go back and watch some tape from his time in New York because I wasn't glued in on John Simpson reps, but now I'll be interested. Oh, I got a bunch of super chats here. Sorry, guys. Ravens to the bowl. Appreciate you with the 2. Cushenberry, Pochich. Where would you go with it? Yeah, those are like the only veteran options still available. Let's pull the list up too. Again, I had it up earlier. They're definitely drafting one, but it wouldn't be a bad idea to also get a vet. Some of those center deals were coming in pretty cheap. Cushenberry's like the main starter that's still left. So, to me, if we're signing a vet that we feel comfortable with, it probably is Cushenberry. Pochitz is another decent option. They got his value at $10 million. There's no way. I mean, Mays just signed for 8. McGovern signed for 13, which makes this Linderbaum deal that much crazier. You know what I mean? Like you're getting the next best option signing for well below the top market, and then he goes $9 million over. Must have thought he's just like the greatest center in the history of football. Yeah, if we're going vet, I mean, I would feel comfortable giving a small deal to Cushenberry or Pochich and also drafting and just letting everyone compete. I think that's a fair backup plan. You don't have to break the bank to sign one of these guys, but to me, it is definitely a drop off. But what are you going to do? You going to pay $27 million a year? I don't think so. I can't do that. Raiders fans saying a soul for a soul on IG. Yeah. Hey, they probably feel that way. Does feel like that a little bit. We lost a little bit of us. Tyler Linderbaum's over there now, but I am still excited about Max Crosby. And I'm not mad at this decision. I can't be mad at not paying $27 million a year. My whole theory on Linderbaum coming back was that he'd get low 20s. The fact that he's not is what it is. Who's the top remaining free agents? There's a bunch of names for like all positions. Trey Hendrickson still out there. Mike Evans. I'd say those are the top names. But you got a lot of depth guys there. Ton of names still out there. Trey Hendrickson's a big domino to fall. Tyreek. I think Trey Hendrickson's probably the biggest name still out there. But Ravens traded for Max Crosby, so that wouldn't make a boatload of sense. But they can divvy up what they were going to spend on Linderbaum and spread that money out and get 2 guys. Yeah, I really don't think there's massive swings left. I mean, Trey Hendrickson would be, but you're not doing that after you just got Max, right? So, like, Mike Evans is an interesting one. That would be fun. You could pay Mike what you just paid Linderbaum for a year. Or you divvy the money up. You go get a vet center. You go get a Cushenberry. You draft a center. You go sign a depth corner. You know, you bring in maybe another. I don't think we're bringing in a guard. We just signed Simpson. You could bring in Cushenberry for $7-8 million. Sign an interior D-line guy like Franklin Myers. I think he's still available, right? Add some depth there. John Franklin Myers. You could spread that money up. You know what I mean? You could sign a vet center, Cushenberry. You could sign John Franklin Myers. That still doesn't equal 20 million. So I think the Ravens are probably going to go that route rather than taking like a massive swing. But, and here, yeah, Ian Rappaport saying right here, while the Ravens made a strong offer early for Tyler Linderbaum, it was the 3-year term that they would not match. Oh, interesting. It was the 3-year term that they would not match. So maybe the Ravens were trying to go longer. They weren't willing to go 3-year, 27 million. Probably trying to spread it out longer. Either way, 27 million a year is just crazy. Appreciate you, 97G, with the 2. Love him, but what has Lindy done for real to deserve 27? No. No center has ever been worth 27 million a year. I agree. Love Linderbaum too, but you just can't pay that. You can't pay that. They don't change your entire O-line like that, you know? So we're looking for a new center. Yeah, optimistic take here because it does feel doom and gloom after we just lost a bunch of guys at the beginning of free agency. We now have another 20 million to be flexible with. We don't have to spend it all, obviously, but we were willing to spend that. So now it's where do they place those funds? They have more flexibility to do that. I just kind of went over some scenarios where you could get a Cushenberry vet center. You could bring in an interior D line and Franklin Myers. You can go in a bunch of different routes, fill out some depth, and just hit the draft. It's not as exciting as having Linderbaum back. It doesn't feel as comforting, but it's not like, oh, the Ravens suck. I think there's a lot of time here to play out. This is the first 2 hours of free agency. Thoughts on the likely deal? Just saw it and bummed out. Yeah, went to the Giants with John Harbaugh for the same money as Mark got, 13 million a year. I think likely has a bit more guaranteed. I think he's just chasing opportunity. I think the Giants said, we'll give you the opportunity. There's no competition in the tight end room. It's Isaiah Likely there. Coming back to Baltimore, probably could have made similar money, but you got Mark there. So it does suck losing Likely. Not as surprised about that one, but losing Stout to the Giants and then losing Linderbaum to the Raiders sucks. Good news, we got Max Crosby. Bad news, we have no O-line. Well, yet, yeah. Right now, our O-line looks like Ronnie Stanley at left tackle, John Simpson at left guard, Voorhees is a backup, no center, Bullock, I guess. Right guard is Emory Jones Jr. and TBD, and then right tackle Roger Rosengarten. So, yeah, got a center issue now for sure. I think Cushenberry makes sense. You know what I mean? That's the pivot, and it's a value pivot. I bet you that deal's under 10 million. A lot of the backup centers were getting that. So it makes sense. Downgrade, but when you look at the money, is like, what do? You pay 17 plus million more to pay up for Linderbaum? We can't. I don't like that. Chris, love the optimism. I don't feel doom and gloom. I feel excited. I'm excited too. Just like this one hurts a little bit. I wanted Linderbaum back, but I'm also like, what in the world do you possibly do when they're paying 27 million a year? Like, it would be just awful business to do that. So I feel good too. We'll figure it out. Third round comp next year, yeah. Max comp pick, yeah. 100%. Appreciate you with the 2. Yeah, there's a lot of linemen in this draft. Centers too. A lot of good center prospects. It's just, scary to go with a rookie. So I wouldn't mind bringing in a vet here like a Cushionberry and then also getting a rookie too. You could draft the rookie higher, second, third round and let everybody compete. I'd feel better about that. And Corey Bullock is a name that, yeah, everyone should keep talking about, man. He's definitely in the mix. Yeah, I think we're all good on 27 a year. It sucks losing Linderbaum, but when I saw the numbers, it's just like, dude, we need something big. Yeah, I don't know. There's not a lot of big swings left. Crosby was the big move and trying to retain Linderbaum, but didn't work. Yep, there'll be another one. All right, what's the news? Any other signings? Well, John Franklin Myers may get a decent payday. Maybe that won't work. Many teams circling around John Franklin Myers. Multiple suitors are inquiring about him. He's expected to have a big payday. Jahan Johnson reached an agreement with the Falcons, 2 years, 15 million. Tyler Linderbaum, 60 million guaranteed. You think we can even sign Evans? I would say that's unlikely just because it's going to cost 20 million probably, but never know. We got money. Probably unlikely. They probably divvy the money up in a couple different areas. Yeah, Lindy's agent went all out. There was even reports like weeks before where he's like, he's not responding to anyone. It was a good play by the agent. And if you're Linderbaum, I guess you got to take 9 million more. If he would have taken like 2 million more, I'd have been like, man, really? Like, you want to go to a rebuilding team just for a couple million difference, but 9 million above the highest? Yeah, it's a big deal. We don't have a punter, but I'm not as worried about replacing the punter. That's not the same type of impact as a Tyler Linderbaum. So yes, we don't have a punter, but we'll figure it out. So we lost Jordan Stout to the Giants, and they made him the highest paid punter in the NFL. And then we lose Tyler Linderbaum to the Raiders, and they made him the highest paid center in the NFL. So we lost two guys that just markets went kind of crazy for. I think the punter replacement's not as big of a deal at all. Raiders are starting to sign some guys. They just signed Naylor. 3-year, 35 million, 23 million guaranteed. Plucked him from the Vikings. Warren Sharp, highest paid center is 27. Huge gap. Yeah, it is insane. It is insane. And McGovern just signed his $13 million deal yesterday with Buffalo. So, like, this is a recent deal. You can't look at, obviously Creed Humphrey's the top guy and he got paid like 2 years ago, but McGovern got paid yesterday for 13. And Tyler gets 27. Bills guard David Edwards signing 4-year, $61 million deal with the Saints. So the Saints get ETN and Edwards at guard. I agree. McGovern should have waited. The Bills did a great job keeping him because he probably would have got 18 or something, closer to 20 if Linderbaum signed first. But that's a massive reset to the center market. Yeah, coaching's more important than ever. Baltimore, Don, I agree, man. Dwayne Ledford, great coach. He'll get them boys up to par. I agree. I hope so. You know what I mean? It's all just like exciting right now. And evidence shows that they will be able to do that. But we'll just have to see. But the coaching priority, man. It's a priority to get the best out of these younger guys, especially if we go draft like a rookie center. I mean, coaching is everything. I don't think we'd move Emery to center. He's never played there. He's played right tackle and guard. So I think John Simpson, who's only played left guard, slots in at left guard. We probably move Emery to right guard, but we need a center. Insane. Emery Jones's cheeks? Nah, man. It was like the smallest sample size ever, and I liked what I saw. Go watch his college tape. Dude was starting at LSU as a freshman at tackle. Yeah, this backfired. I think this was a bad move to draft a punter in the 4th round. If we would have signed him, it would have, made some sense. It's like, okay, we get our future punter to replace Sam Cook for a decade because that's what we thought. Jordan Stout was going to be here for a long time, especially after last year coming off his best season. But now looking back, it's like we used a 4th round pick to draft Jordan Stout. He didn't have a great year until last year. So you don't get like his best years. The Giants are about to get his best years, and we kind of wasted a 4th round pick. So that was a bad move. See a lot of fighting over receivers in here. I think the O-line's the priority before that. We got some receivers. If we can protect these our receivers can produce. I'm not against adding. I'm sure we'll draft one too, but I am way more worried about the offensive line than I am receiver. Insane, man. Insane. He got 27 million a season. Sheesh. Should have just used the 5th-year option. Yeah, it was like the same price though, because he gets grouped in with the whole O line. I think that's a mistake by the league to have centers grouped in with the whole offensive line, which I guess, make sense now since Linderbaum just reset it with 27 million. He is getting paid tackle money, but back then, before that, you'd have to pay that. You'd have to pay 25 to 27 million to franchise tag him or pick up the 5th-year option because he made the Pro Bowl. He gets the bonus just like Zay does. Like, the Ravens would have to agree to pay basically the same amount he just got in Vegas. So I don't think they were ever willing to get close to that. And I don't think they should. It's an insane number. Crazy, man. Jets sign Falcons D tackle David Onyemata. Mata, 1 year, $10.5 million deal. Yeah. Question is, man, where do the Ravens pivot? Where do the Ravens pivot? What's our plan now? I don't know. See it unfold. We clearly have some excess money to spend because we were going to pay Tyler 20. and now we didn't. So could take one swing and head to the draft. Could take 2 to 3 smaller deal swings and head to the draft. I think we'll still re-sign some of our own guys. I'd be shocked if Kohler leaves. Um, I thought Stout would be back. He's gone, so we need a new punter. Kohler, Awuzie, you can bring some guys back like that, minor deals, and then spread the money out in free agency. Sign Cushenberry, veteran center, draft center. But I don't know what the plan is. No idea. I think their plan was to sign Tyler Linderbaum. I mean, all the reports, even just recently, Ravens were in. It's just they weren't willing to go that high. Nor should they. I mean, so yeah, man. I don't know. We'll see. What do you guys think the plan should be now that the Ravens definitely have to go to plan B and pivot? David, appreciate you with the 5. With Greg Roman, the Giants will need a punter more than the Ravens. Yeah, 100%. 100%. It is funny to watch some guys go over there, man. And Likely's not the top option there. Malik Neighbors is an absolute star, man. Why haven't we made any other moves yet? Well, we're definitely waiting on the Tyler Linderbaum situation to play itself out and see where he officially goes. And we signed John Simpson to a 3-year, $30 million deal. So that's our starting guard. And the other deals are smaller. So we'll see. Sometimes they take weeks. But I'm sure the Ravens will make another move by Wednesday. But I don't know. There's not a lot of huge ticket free agents out there, so I don't know if we're going to swing like that. Could be kind of a boring free agency now. I wouldn't be in doom and gloom, man. It does suck though. It just feels like we just like lost a chunk of the team and we're just like waiting for it to be back. But it's not doom and gloom. Ravens are still going to be good this year and we'll figure out the whole line. We'll figure it out. It's probably going to feel uneasy until we start watching them play. I do think like just on paper it's going to feel uneasy. So there's a lot of pressure on the coaching staff to get the best out of the new personnel. I mean, there's no doubt about it. This O-line has to play well. Super team, right? I don't know why anyone was even saying that. I never thought we had a super team, especially with the holes on the O-line, and that even got bigger with Linderbaum now. You don't have a super team if you don't have a great offensive line. So the super team stuff's crazy. I think that's just because we got Crosby. Everybody was like going hype, getting all hyped up, but like we do not have a super team. I don't even want that. That shouldn't even be a conversation. Plan B was already in motion before Lindy left. I mean, they definitely had to have 2 parallel plans, just because they knew this was probably a real chance that Linderbaum leaves. So, yeah, they definitely are quickly working on the next option or already have been. Yeah. It sucks that he left, but I just can't get myself I would have never paid 27 million. And that's like that's the part where it's like, okay, I feel fine about it, I guess, because I would have never paid up for that. It's a crazy amount, man. Ravens still gonna be nice this year. The whole line is just going to seem shaky for a bit on paper. Because like losing Linderbaum, obviously you're going to feel like you took a step back. You could replace him with any rookie, any vet. It's going to feel like we took a step back. But that doesn't mean that that's how it looks on the field. Our O line was awful last year. So if they're playing better than that, that's progress. We're in a good spot. You know the defense about to be way better. I mean, there's no doubt about it. And we have a whole new coaching staff. The coaching staff, the pressure's on the coaching staff to really maximize whatever personnel gets put here for sure. Not sure if Ricard's coming back. I think that's really on like, does Doyle want a fullback in his offense? You know, not every team uses a fullback. Most teams do not use a fullback. Historically, places that he's been have not used a fullback, but doesn't mean that we lose Pat Ricard. I mean, if they want to use a fullback, I think Pat Ricard's extremely useful and has a ton of value to us. But if they're going a different direction and not having a fullback in the offense, then no. Any other signings? Slowing down a little bit. Pretty much just lost a bunch of guys that I came on here to cope with you guys, I guess. I really didn't expect it to be that crazy, except potentially bringing Linderbaum back. But the fact that we lost him sucks. Yeah, Corey Bullock could take a leap, but we can't go into it just being like, he's the guy. I feel like we need competition. Same with Emery. Jets went crazy today. Yeah, 27 million a season. Absurd, man, for a center. Good tackle money. Yeah, it makes more than Fred Warner. He makes more than a lot of guys in the league. 27's nuts, man. McCaffrey makes 19 million a year. Yeah. Likely resented the team. I don't know. He went over to John Harbaugh. So it can't be about like the coaches weren't giving him an opportunity or nothing. I just think it was because Mark was in the way. I think likely wants opportunity. But he couldn't have resented the Ravens too much. He literally followed John Harbaugh to New York. And Greg Roman's there. Like, what do we, you know what I mean? Like, everything that everyone has always complained about is like in New York right now, and they're heading over there. Dozy with the 2, appreciate you. Simpson, Bullock, and Emery Jones over Voorhees, Tyler, and Fa'alele. Yeah. I mean, we'll see. We'll see if Bullock starts at center. I think Simpson and Jones are probably going to start at guard. Um, Love the potential of Bullock. And if this coaching staff can get everyone playing on the same page and bring the best out of everybody, that could definitely work. Definitely better than Voorhees and Fa'alele. I agree, man. That mixture could end up being a lot better. Baltimore Giants. Yeah, we got the LA Chargers and the Baltimore Giants. Yeah, I think Likely's got a decent chance to get up there. He's going to get the volume that he wanted. They do have Neighbors there too, who's going to be 1,000-yard receiver. So it's not like Likely's the guy. And they're going to run the rock. You got Scatabo. You got a John Harbaugh team. You got Greg Roman over there. They're going to run the ball. But Likely's the tight end one, and it's no debate. I think that's what he was looking for. Stout to the Giants, too. Highest paid punter in the NFL. Yeah, crazy, 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 crazy. Well, We had a morning of getting our hearts ripped out, but still a ton to go. Wow, Mike Evans off the board to the Niners. Mike Evans, 3-year deal with the San Francisco 49ers. I didn't expect us to swing big at receiver. We have to fix the O-line. It doesn't matter who you have a receiver if you're not blocking. But crazy that he's leaving Tampa Bay. That's a big, big grab for the Niners. It's probably a decent sized deal too. I don't know what the numbers are yet. Sure, it'll be here in a second. But Mike Evans leaving Tampa Bay. Yeah, I know. It was getting floated around. I think like a lot of Ravens fans just want top receivers, and I get it because we haven't, I mean, Zay is, but I get what you're talking about like the AJ Brown, Mike Evans guys. And shoot, I'd love one too, but it is like a pipe dream with our situation. Our receiver room's not that bad if we had a great offensive line and a smart coaching staff here, man. Like Doyle's coming in. They have a whole new coaching staff. Like, so saying things like Bateman's not involved in the offense or we take Henry out the game too much, like all those flaws that a lot of people complained about are out the window. Like you're not going to have the same patterns. It's a completely new staff. So I think you'd be able to get the best out of Bateman and get the best out of Tez and also draft a guy. And, Zay's a star. So the Ravens receiver room to me is sure, could it get better? Yes. But like the O line is the priority. If you're blocking and Lamar's got all day, the receivers we have right now are about the ball. And we're about to run all over teams. The O line is everything. But Mike Evans to the Niners. Overtime. Appreciate you with the 5. Ravens will be getting some comp picks from this year's free agency. Yeah, definitely. We still have money after the Lamar deal and some potential cuts, restructures. Yeah, I mean, technically Lamar deal's not announced, but let's use our brains here. You can't trade for Crosby, who has a $30 million hit that you can't restructure until new league year starts. So that has to fit under our cap by Wednesday. And they also were trying to pay Tyler Linderbaum 20-ish million. The Ravens were spending, and we just spent 3-year, $30 million deal on John Simpson. So, I mean, the Lamar extension's probably done. We just ain't heard about it. They obviously have a path to clear that money, or that money's already been cleared, and we're definitely getting comp picks. Linderbaum's going to get the max comp pick, no doubt. I'll feel a lot better when I start to see how they fill out this offensive line. That's really all I'm worried about. I'm not worried about anything else. Everything else, like finding a new punter and things like that, or adding depth to certain positions, safety, corner, like we can do all that. We still have 10 picks in the draft. We have the rest of free agency here. The O-line is where I'm like, man, on paper, we're probably not going to look that great. But like everyone's going to be questioning the offensive line the entire offseason until we line up and play. But that's why you bring in the new coaching staff. Our O-line regressed pretty heavily after Joe D passed. Rest in peace, Joe D. And Warhop was the coach. But now we got Dwayne Ledford, who's had nothing but success. You have Doyle calling plays and designing the offense. Hoping the coaching can lift some of these younger guys or, less talented guys than a Linderbaum. But TBD. Probably won't have that answer until September. Yeah, I think there's some pressure on Mark. I mean, Mark's the guy again. Not that he wasn't, I guess, in volume terms, but none of our tight ends were getting crazy volume last year. Nobody really on the entire offense had crazy volume except for Zay. So I think there's a lot of pressure on Mark. Hopefully we re-sign Kohler to add to that mix. But Mark's got to step up. Mark's got to be prime Mark. I feel like this too. The O-line can only go up. Like, it was disgustingly bad, and it just seems tough. Yeah, it seems unrealistic. Even with losing Linderbaum, it's like, really? We're about to put out a worse O-line? That would be the shock of the century. I just think that that's moving backwards. That's not an all-in team, and you don't go trade for a guy like Crosby if you're not about to make sure you have a Super Bowl ready roster. So right now, as it stands, O-line's scary, but we'll see when September's here. Dozy, appreciate you with the 2. I don't expect much punts anyway. Yeah. Yeah, we're not punting. Scoring every drive. Raiders wanted 2 draft picks and a player. That's what they got. Yeah. 2 firsts, 14th pick. Next year's 27 and Linderbaum. But they paid for Linderbaum. $27 million a year for a center is questionable. Vera Tucker, yeah, I mean, interesting guard option. I don't think can he play center? I don't think so. Injury concerns there, but we signed John Simpson, which makes me think we don't swing again at guard. I think we just draft. Center is like the main hole right now. We're young at guard on the other side. You know, like Emery, Voorhees, Bullock, I guess, probably slots in at center right now, but he can play guard too. So some unknowns there. I'm rooting for us to add any talent and quality to the offensive line. So Vera Tucker, come on over. After losing Linderbaum, I'm telling you, the offensive line is paramount. This is all we got to fix right now. The rest is like not that big of a deal. We have plenty. We're going to add 10 guys in the draft. We have the entire free agency still to play out. You got to think about all like the post June 1st cuts and stuff too that actually get cut after June 1st, and like all the late cuts right before the roster's done in August, and you know, guys that are on the fringe of not making a team, or veteran cuts that they want to go with a younger guy, so they're going to cut this guy in August. And we've made a living signing a bunch of those guys. So I mean, the offseason continues. You know, it starts today and continues today. We're only 2.5 hours into this. So there's a ton of time to fill out this roster. Devin Bush to the Bears. 3-year, $30 million deal, $21 million guaranteed. Chicago Bears. Devin Bush. He's been playing well, too. Nice. What centers are available? Starting centers, it's just really Cushenberry and Pochich, I guess. Cushenberry, top guy that has starting experience from Tennessee. Market value projected to be $7 million. Pochich, another name. The rest of these guys don't have much starting experience at all. Cushenberry, I think, is probably the main option if we're going with somebody that's like a starter. But I also think we 100% fill that in the draft as well. Happy for Bush, went to school with him. That's sick, man. Yeah, no, that's a good deal for him. Cushenberry, Mays. Mays already signed. Mays signed with was it I don't even remember who he signed with. There's been so much freaking news today. It was $8 million a year. I know that. It was pretty low. Let me just search for it. Lions. Cade Mays went to the Lions. So he's off the board. Only a $25 million deal. It was $8 million a season. 3-year, $25 million. So value deal there, really. Cushenberry, I believe, is still available. Jeez, Twitter's going crazy, bro. Let me get back to the news. Overtime. Appreciate you with the 10. So far, new coaching staff that focuses on player development and X's and O's, getting one of the most dominant edge rushers in the game, signing an actual O lineman to play guard. Not bad so far. Not mad so far. I agree. I'm not mad at all. It stings losing Linderbaum, but when you see the numbers, it's like, what are you supposed to do? I love the new coaching staff. I'm fired up about the new coaching staff. That's once again all on paper. I mean, all of us are just kind of theorizing on what's going to happen in September, but you don't know until it actually happens. But I'm fired up about the coaching staff. And if they coach these guys up like they have in their previous locations, we're going to get a lift from a lot of guys, and they're going to be put in good positions. I think that's honestly, that's Minter's strength too, is getting the best out of personnel. You got two X's and O's play callers in Doyle, who I know doesn't have play calling experience, but dude's smart. All their coaches have been raving about him. Sean Payton said he's a young Sean Payton said he's a young Sean McVay, genius mind. Rick Minter said he's a genius mind. Like, Doyle is intelligent. And then you got Minter calling plays on defense. So I'm fired up about the coaching staff. I don't think the Ravens are in a bad spot at all. Do I feel uneasy about the O-line right now? Yeah. Yeah. Just because we lost Linderbaum, but it's just on paper. I am confident that they'll figure it out. I don't think you make a Crosby move and just neglect the O-line again. I'd be shocked. But it's bad business to pay $27 million a year to a center. It just is. We will sign more than John Simpson. It just doesn't all happen. It's been 2 hours and 40 minutes into the start of the new year. Not even officially. It's just the tampering period. The new league year starts Wednesday at 4. The Ravens will make plenty of moves throughout the rest of this offseason. I don't know about today or not, but usually they do kind of lose some guys early in free agency, and everyone's like, man, no one's doing anything. This year, it did feel like we lost some bigger names. Likely, Stout, Linderbaum. Yeah. This is boring. We can hop off. Yeah, I don't know. I can't control the news. Just trying to talk through it with you guys, man. I'll be going live with Noah later today, too. I won't stay live till then, probably. We've been live for almost 3 hours. The punter situation should be easy to replace. What you guys want to do? You want me to hop off and the stream? There isn't much going on. I don't know. Or you want me to stay on, hang out? Been live for 3 hours. Going live at 7 with Noah too. So more could happen by then. Or we could just stay live a little bit longer and see if another signing happens. It has slowed down for sure. We lost majority of our main free agents already. So what do you guys think? End the stream or nah? Oh, you guys wanted to keep going. All right. All right. I appreciate you guys. Let's stay on then. Let's stay on. I'm here. Do I see the Ravens trading up in the draft? Possibility. I mean, they got 10 picks. Just really depends who's falling. I don't think they would do that ahead of time. You know what I mean? That's a move that happens during the draft. And it would be later in the draft. I don't think we'd trade. We're not going to give up a bunch to move high. But we pick 14th in the second round. So, moving up to 30 or like the end of the first round to get back in on the first night on Thursday night, because it'll be weird not to have a pick. I wouldn't think that's insanely unrealistic, but it has to just be for a guy that they're like, wow, I can't believe he's still here. We're trading up 15 spots to get this guy at the end of the first round. Yeah, I want to hang out with you guys. That's why I went live. You know what I mean? We've been live for 3 hours now. I've never done free agency live at all. I definitely want to hang out with you guys. I saw the boring comment and I was like, dang, maybe it is getting boring. I know the news is slowing down. So I was like, we've been live for 3 hours and just lost a bunch of guys. So I was like, maybe we just take a break and I'll go live with Noah later today, but I'll stay on. Do this instead of making a video, I guess. Yeah, a lot of love for Corey Bullock in the comments. I agree. I'm excited. I'm excited about his potential and the new coaching staff, Dwayne Ledford. Let's see what he can get out of everybody. I think Bullock's got the talent and potential to do it, but he's got to do it. You know what I mean? It's hard to just be like, he's our starter. We're not adding anything else to the room. I don't feel comfortable with that. Like, I want competition at all spots. Dozy, appreciate with the 2 mock draft. All right, yeah, we'll load one up. Give me a second here. I want to get through the other super chats. BB, appreciate you with the 5. This Tyler Linderbaum deal reminds me of the Deshaun Watson deal. Stupid franchises making stupid deals happen. 27 million a year will cost every other team now. Yeah, it will. They just genuinely reset the center market. Usually you top the previous deal by a little bit. I mean, $9 million bump in the center market is crazy. And McGovern got screwed by signing with the Bills for 13 million yesterday. Yeah. I don't think it's a smart deal either, but Raiders did it. Lawrence with the 10. Appreciate you. Here's a 10 piece for staying on. Also, can't wait for a team to take Fa'alele so we can all rest easy. I agree, man. I agree. We're not re-signing Fa'alele, especially after getting John Simpson. I think that kind of showed, like, we got Emery still there in the works too. He's a 3rd round pick from last year. Like, John Simpson was probably the guard signing. You're not re-signing. You still got Voorhees on the roster. You're not re-signing Fa'alele, but yeah, it'd be nice to have confirmation. Appreciate you with the 10, Lawrence. I'm staying on. Appreciate you. Donovan, appreciate you with the 2. Our offense is so far off currently. Our offense is so far off currently. Our O line has a hole at center. Other than that, I think we're all right. We'll add depth. We got the whole offseason left. Asmodeus with the 2. Appreciate you. Haven't seen you in a while. I don't know if we can even sign a center. The market reset. Yeah, that is an interesting point. Like, you look at a Cushionberry, right? And the center deals were so low before Linderbaum, like days before, even this morning. Like, Mays gets 8 million a year. McGovern yesterday gets 13 million a year. Does Cushionberry now get like 13 because Linderbaum just bumped the entire market up? Like, maybe you can't sign a center anymore. They're not worth that. That's a great point. It is crazy. Did the market immediately jump? Probably a little bit at least. Chris, appreciate you with the 5. If they want to leave, they can. Stay live. You're doing the Lord's work. Appreciate you, Chris. Always showing love in the comments. I chop it up with Chris on other people's channels too. I'm always in the comments for like Coach or Jason Huddle Up Films. Always seeing everybody over there. H with the 5. Appreciate you. Will the O line be okay without Lindy? I mean, TBD, I guess. I got to trust that they're going to have a plan here. There's no way they have no backup plan. We obviously signed John Simpson. I think that is definitely an upgrade over Fa'alele. Simpson's played left guard his whole career. He's been here before, had some iffy moments in New York, though, for sure. But the Jets suck. And he's entering the prime of his career here. We're talking about the coaching staff getting the best out of guys. John Simpson's 28 years old. Like, when he was on the Ravens before, he was like a young guy trying to make it in the NFL and then cashed out in free agency and we let him go. And now we're bringing him back. So I think it's an upgrade at guard. We do have a hole at center though. So do I think our O-line will be okay? I do. I trust this coaching staff and I trust that we'll have some backup plan here because it would have been stupid to pay 27 million a year, but we definitely are probably going to have a little bit of a worse center, I would imagine. But the coaching staff better get more out of this entire offensive line and lift them. Young Brew with the 5. Appreciate you. Raiders O-line will be better, but that defense is going to be suspect. KC, Denver, Chargers, good luck. I agree. Raiders are like rebuilding, and they went backwards as a overall team. I mean, yeah, you got the number 1 pick. You're getting Mendoza, so that obviously is probably exciting for their fans and stuff. I'm not saying the Raiders are going to be awful, but this season particularly, they're not a contender instantly. So that defense took a massive step back, losing a Crosby, man. Max Crosby's a game changer. And KC signing Walker, that's a problem. Quan with the 2, appreciate you. How do you feel about the Brazel, Tennessee wide receiver? I like him. And not in the first round. So with our second round or third round pick, yeah. I mean, he's got speed. I wish he was like had a little more wiggle. Like, I'm not a coach, so I don't always describe it perfectly, but I know what I'm talking about when I see it, as in like route wiggle and mobility there. He's kind of a straight line, go up and get it. But Brazel, ton of potential. There's so many receivers in this draft. The Ravens can definitely find a quality starting receiver in the second or third round in this draft, 100%. And I think that's the smart route because receivers make a ton of money in free agency too. So, and you're going to have to pay Zay most likely, who's going to, if we pick up his fifth year option this year for next year, it's 27 million. So we're going to have to pay Zay. Zay is going to make around there. So whatever that decision ends up being, the Ravens need to continue to draft receivers. And I think they will. Brazel's a good one. Asmodeus with the 2. I remember a ton of false starts with Simpson. Yeah, he struggled with some holding calls too. I think he had 7 penalties. But that's the beginning of his NFL career. I agree. There were some issues, but he also came in and played a solid starting role for us. And that was the beginning of his career. We are now 4 years later, and he's had starting experience in New York, elsewhere. I think it's an upgrade over Fa'alele, even though it might be on the other side. I think it's an upgrade. Oh, Jeff Zarebeck just broke some news. According to source, the Ravens have decided not to tender free agent Keaton Mitchell, which doesn't mean he's gone, but it does mean that they're not putting a restricted free agent tag on him where they would have to pay him a certain amount. You can do the $2 million one or the $5 million one, which is attached to a second round pick. So essentially, Keaton Mitchell can sign elsewhere. Doesn't mean we lose him, but the risk went up of losing Keaton Mitchell. The good news continues. Man, what a morning. So add Keaton Mitchell to the free agent market because he's not restricted. We don't have any rights. Dan with the 5. Appreciate you. People sleeping on Corey Bullock. I think he'll do fine. Draft best center available in the 3rd as a backup plan. Hopefully Connor Lew or Jake Slaughter. Yeah, I need to really research some centers now. I wasn't looking into it as deep. I really thought Linderbaum was probably coming back, but I need to dive in and do my homework on the centers in the draft because that is probably our main position that we need to draft. And Bullock, having Bullock there too is a great option. So drafting and Bullock, let him compete. Let the O-line coaches coach him up. I think it'll work. How are we feeling about Keaton Mitchell not getting tagged? So all offseason, we're kind of planning on Keaton becoming a restricted free agent, but the Ravens had to place the tag on him to keep him, and then therefore they have an opportunity to match any offer he gets, or if they did the higher tender, then they could get a second-round pick. I knew they weren't going to do that one. It cost too much, but very interesting because Keaton can just freely sign wherever now. And Justice Hill was a rumored cut candidate for a while. The Ravens didn't release anybody, as far as we know. They haven't released Broderick. They haven't released, a Justice Hill or anything. So as of right now, we do have Derrick Henry, Justice Hill, Rasheen Ali. The fact that the Ravens didn't tender Keaton scares me that he's might be gone. Or they're just very confident. Oh, man. Jay Fowler, take it for what it is, or Jeremy Fowler. Ravens are not tendering Keaton per source. He will be a free agent. Watch for the Giants here. Watch for the Giants to take Keaton Mitchell, according to Jeremy Fowler. Jeff broke it down here, the exact numbers. The original round tender would have cost the Ravens 3.5. Second round tender, 5.8. Ravens not taking either. Man, if Keaton goes to the Giants too, what in the world? It's funny because a lot of the fans' complaints thinking that players didn't like Harbaugh would be very debunked if we have this many people signing in New York. I also agree there were a bunch of issues with Harbaugh, and I'm glad we moved on. But it's probably wasn't as bad as we think, or as some people think. Some people thought it was pretty toxic and nobody wanted to play for him, but we got some of our top guys heading there. You mean we could lose Keaton Mitchell? Yeah, 100%. I actually think it's way more likely now that we lose Keaton Mitchell because the Ravens didn't put a tag on him. So he's not restricted. And I love Keaton. I was hoping Keaton would stay. I guess he's not officially gone, but that's not the news you want to hear for somebody that's going to return. I don't think it ruins our team or anything. We're fine. We still have running back depth, but Keaton could be on the move. It would be a loss. Brandon, so we would get a second round pick. Nah, only if we did the $5.8 million tender, we would get a second round back. So that means we commit to paying him 5.8. And if he signs elsewhere, we would get a second round pick back. But we decided not to tender him at all. So he's not restricted anymore. We have no opportunity to match anything. He can just go freely. He's as free as Tyler Linderbaum. Keaton Mitchell can go wherever he wants. The Ravens have no ties to Keaton anymore. And we would not get a pick back only if we tendered him. James, Ryan, please talk me away from the ledge. What is happening right now? This is the early wave of free agency. We lose a lot of guys. That's what's going on. We lost a lot of guys. The Linderbaum one is the biggest loss to the team, but $27 million a year, what are you supposed to do? So we'll see what the Ravens pivot to in a backup plan. We're only 3 hours into the start of the legal tampering period. We have an entire offseason to play out here to build this roster. So kind of always feels like this in the beginning. When other guys leave, you just because you're only thinking about your team, and then you see a couple of the top free agents leave, and it's always just man, what are we doing? But as the years have went, I've been watching the Ravens since I was 7 in 2000. Ages me, I'm 32. But as 10, 20 years of watching football, I'm just okay, let the whole offseason play out before there's a freak out, panic. I think there's a ton of time to build this roster still. The Keaton thing's interesting dynamic, though. And I was waiting on that decision, but I didn't really know. I thought they would do the low tender on Keaton, but I guess they don't even want to pay 3.5. Browns signed Chargers first round guard Zion Johnson, 3-year, $49.5 million deal. Solid deal for him. Why would Lamar re-sign? This O-line is non-existent. Well, Lamar's under contract for 2 more years, so if you're just talking about the extension, I don't know how else the Ravens would have cleared all this cap to even sign anybody. As of this weekend after the Crosby deal, we're negative 20 million. And we just signed John Simpson to a 10-year or $10 million a year deal. So we're negative 30 million on paper. You got to be under the cap by Wednesday. I think that structure is already put in place. I think that was why Lamar was tweeting what he was on Friday, but we'll wait for the announcement. Why would they not tender him? They act like his contract is breaking the bank. Yeah, they obviously do not want to pay Keaton even 3.5 because you could do the original tender for 3.5 and be able to match anything he gets. They don't want to pay him 3.5, which really tells me he's probably gone. And the fact that Jeremy Fowler's watch for the Giants here, he probably already knows. So we'll see, but not looking good for Keaton back to Baltimore. Which sucks. I do, yeah. I mean, I don't want to lose Keaton. I didn't even think we'd lose Keaton. I thought he was going to be a restricted free agent. I thought we'd put the low tender on him for 3.5. We're not. It will be interesting to see where the Ravens place their money, though, man. 100%. All right, let's fire up a little mock draft. If news comes, we'll go back. It's so weird having the 45th pick as the first pick. My goodness. No, we're not trading back right now. We got a pick at 45. Oh, Lee Hunter. Ooh. Lee Hunter at 45. See how many depth receivers are here? Brazel, Boston, Cassius Howell, edge depth there, young edge rusher. I'm leaning Lee Hunter on this one. Let me see what you guys are. I'm leaning Lee Hunter on this one. He's a monster, man. Lock it in. The receivers were good, though. But Matt BK situations, a little shaky. Move back 18 spots, get a 2027 third from Philly. No. Halton's still there. Well, we could go running back since we're about to lose a running back. Oh, Eli Stowers here in the third. Trigg from Baylor. I saw a lot of people were high on him in here. Let's take Trigg. Get the tight end. Replace Likely. All right, where are we looking at? Pick 115. Yeah, Lee Hunter at 45. Crazy. All right, where are we going at 115? Corner. Hmm. 45, I went Lee Hunter, D tackle. Joseph here, you said? Edge? Keaton's not gone yet, but the Ravens didn't pick up his restricted tender. So they weren't even willing to pay 3.5. So he's fully unrestricted free agent now. And Fowler was reporting, watch the Giants. Watch for the Giants here. Surprise, surprise. Today's been the Harbaugh and the Giants taking a lot of guys away. All right, where do you want to go at 115? You guys can pick. Perkins, Joseph. We are going to need a linebacker too. All right, we'll go Perkins. We're just having fun. We could do a couple of these. It don't matter. I'm just trying to buy time if there's no news. Yeah, I haven't drafted a guard yet. Well, we signed John Simpson. Singleton, Penn State. There's the center, right? Got to get the center here. Pick 153, Slaughter. Probably the move. Because I didn't add to the O-line. Yeah. Let's get Slaughter. There's the center. Compete with Bullock. Safety. I got a tight end already. Got a center. Got Lee Hunter, D tackle. Where are we going at 161? Bell. Tackle. 6'9". Mammoth. Yeah, the chat's negative. It's the beginning of free agency. So it always seems a little negative at first. We swung on Friday for Max Crosby, and there's just no way to pay Linderbaum that type of money, man. It sucks, but sources said we are highly interested in Trey Hendrickson. I saw that before the Crosby trade. You seeing that now? I'd be shocked. That would be absolutely insane. I just don't think it would happen after the Crosby trade. There's so much money invested there. I think we need to focus on the O-line. Stribbing. Yeah, where are the wide receivers? Let's see here. Hold on, real quick. Let me check to make sure there's nothing crazy going on. I don't think there is, but yeah, okay. Yeah. Not tendering Keaton. That's the news. All right. Where are we going at 161? Oh, I don't know. Kind of, there's a lot of different ways we can go here. Here's the wide receivers. Ole Miss Stribling is down there. That's who you're referring to. All right, I'm picking somebody. We got to move on. Uh, got a little fight going on in the comments. I'm getting distracted. Let's keep it positive, guys. It's all good. So this is a fun stream here. Lighthearted, optimistic stream. No negativity. All right, we're going tackle. Screw it. I'm stalling here. I'm getting distracted. There's too much going on. "26-year-old rookie, no." When do I think the Lamar extension news will drop? By Wednesday. No idea when. Whenever Lamar and the Ravens want to announce it. By 4:00 on Wednesday, we'll have to know something about how cap got cleared. Because we're way under the cap if you only look at like the Crosby trade and the John Simpson signing, like way below, like we're or over the cap technically, like 30 million over. So the money's cleared, just hasn't been announced. Yeah, I see the chat's getting heated. It's all good. I don't even know what the argument's about. I'm so distracted, like trying to like lock into the mock draft, and then also, well, John Franklin Myers is off the market. Titans. Broncos defensive tackle John Franklin Myers, 3 years, $63 million. Sheesh. $21 million a season. I was over here talking about how we might be able to get him for 10 or 12. Hell no. 21 million a year. These teams that have a lot of cap space are throwing it around. And he's a beast. He's a great signing. But man, $21 million a season, 42 million guaranteed. Thanks for the update, Chris. I was getting distracted. I didn't even know what was going on in the chat. I'm like reading it, I'm seeing people argue, but then I was like trying to look at the mock and I'm like, I don't know what's going on. Keep it cool, guys. We're all getting along. Hey, Richard, appreciate you becoming a member. Means the world, man, for real. Thank you. Do members lives once a month too. So last time we did like a cool off-season mock on Stick to the Model and just try to go live for the members once a month, as well as doing all these lives too. But the members only lives are pretty sick. It's only like 20 of us in there. So, and it's not public. So it's just a little more free. Hold on. Keaton just tweeted. Keaton Mitchell just tweeted. Dang. What's that mean? Decipher this. Ooh-wee. Is he excited because he's like, yo, I'm going somewhere else? We didn't work it out or what? Giants just signed Tremaine Edmonds to a 3-year, $36 million deal. What's that Keaton tweet mean? Yeah. He's gone. Seems like it. The Ravens not picking up the tender. It is. Yeah, Crosby definitely not a mid signing. Definitely not a mid signing. I am shocked about the Keaton thing because all we had to do was pay him or commit to paying him 3.5. Original round tender costs 3.5 million. Obviously, the second round tender would have been a bit much at 5.8. I knew they weren't doing that. But they are basically saying we're not paying Keaton 3.5. Giants signed Tremaine Edmonds, 3-year, 36 million, 23.7 fully guaranteed. Dang, we just lost Charlie Kohler, man. Hold on. To the LA Chargers. Or the LA Ravens. Dang, bro. All right. All we got is Mark. No one on the roster. What in the world? Charlie Kohler to the Chargers. 3-year, 24.3, which makes him the NFL's highest paid blocking tight end. He can do more than that. But wow. Ravens are truly cleaning house, but Charlie gets 8.1 million a year. No, I can just say his name. Solid deal for Kohler. Dang, man. All right, what's your thoughts? Bad news, we lost Kohler. Good news, John Simpson. I don't know, man. Yeah, we lost a lot of guys. It's still not doom and gloom, though. This does happen a lot, but I am shocked with the amount of departures here because it's pretty much like the Ravens are like letting a lot of guys go. A lot of guys that we were tied to. Not happening. We're not screwed. It's not all over. We can't live in the moment of like the few hours here. It's a lot of departures with not a lot of incoming players, but it's not like we're not going to do anything. We literally have one tight end. We have Mark Andrews. Charlie is underrated. I don't even like how it's like worded. He's like, oh, the NFL's highest paid blocking tight end. He can do way more than that. He is underrated. 8 million a season for Kohler, 17 million guaranteed. A lot of departures. Doesn't mean nothing's coming, though. Yeah. Losing Kohler sucks. Yeah, what do the Ravens do? Dang, we had this mock draft going here. Let's finish this quick. See where we ended up. I'll get back to it. Where are we at? 173. Dang, it sucks. Kohler's gone, man. It's not another guy that's not like irreplaceable, but there's a lot of departures for the Ravens today. No doubt. I'm finishing up this mock. I'm gonna get back over there. I want to look at some free agent tight ends too. I know there's a lot of tight ends available in free agency. Should we draft another tight end? Jeez. I wish I would have taken Eli Stowers now. All right. Not the best. I rushed it. I was distracted. Fixed the tight end situation. Got a center in Jake Slaughter. Compete with Bullock. Lee Hunter, Steele. He's a beast. And filled out some depth. It's all right. We can do another one later. Let's look at these free agent tight ends because now the news is rolling again. Okay. Wait, that's not right. That's not the only free agent tight ends. What am I on here? There we go. Is it really? That's who signed. Oh, available. Duh. I'm tripping. Kelsey re-signed. All right. Njoku's available. Goddard. Font. Darren Waller. Njoku kind of interests me. Okonkwo from Tennessee. Kate Otten re-signed. Kelsey re-signed. Jonnu Smith potentially. I think he was just released, or did he sign somewhere? No. Yeah, okay. He's available. Jonnu Smith and Njoku. Interesting options. Charlie Kohler is on the LA Ravens. We got the Chargers and the Giants plucking our guys, man. $8 million a year for Kohler. Dom, appreciate you with the 5. Besides Lindy, do you think it has to do with new coaching staff and they just like other guys? Because I know Declan likes blocking tight end, but now Kohler. Yeah, I think it's value. You know, I think hold on, sorry. Oh, JK's tweeting. He must have went back to Denver. I think it's just value. It's just money. You know, they're not willing to pay top market value. Like Kohler, they're considering a blocking tight end. So he's like, oh, he just reset the blocking market. Linderbaum reset the center market. Jordan Stout reset the punter market. I just think they're going with less options. They're not paying up. So new coaching staff, a lot of faith in the new coaching staff to lift non-top guys or unproven guys. You know what I mean? Like I definitely think there's gonna be a lot of development here instead. But yeah, so they probably like other guys too, and they're going to want to formulate them to this new coaching staff. But I really think that a lot of these guys are leaving because they're just getting paid. Asmodeus, I missed this one. Thank you for the 5. OC with no play calling experience, let Keaton walk, re-sign Simpson. I give him a C. This is at best will be 23 all over again with an offensive collapse. Well, I hope not, man. I hope not. No play calling experience doesn't worry me that much. Everybody's got to have a first year. I mean, sure, on paper it's concerning, I guess, but like every coach I've listened to has just raved about Doyle. Like Sean Payton said he'd be a head coach in 2 years. That means immediate success. So we'll see how that plays out. Everything's on paper right now, but I'm not as worried about the no play calling experience if he's that good of a coach. He's had 11 years of experience as a coach. It's not like he's new. I know he's 29, but he's been around for a while. Let Keaton walk. That sucks. It's not official yet, but most likely we didn't tender him. The Simpson signing, C's fair. C's fair. I think that's TBD. It's not like super exciting right out the gates. So yeah, I'd go like C plus. I'm with you. I think the Simpson signing doesn't move the needle a ton, but I think it's an upgrade over Fa'alele. I feel better about it. He's 28. He's had a lot of starting guard experience. He's been here before. I feel a lot better about the Simpson signing, but I'm with you though. C plus. Um, I don't think we're gonna have an offensive collapse, but see how it plays out. Dozy, EDC is trying not to be AFC favorites again. Yeah, we just literally launched after the Crosby trade to Super Bowl favorites, and then it's like, hey, let's take a step back. We did take a little step back today. But we're 3.5 hours into free agency of the entire offseason, by the way. There's not a lot of people to swing big on out there. Trey Hendrickson's the biggest domino yet to fall. But like you got Tyreek Hill, maybe. Like there's not a lot of guys. Mike Evans went to the Niners. Not a lot of top guys. John Franklin Myers to the Titans. Kenneth Walker to the Chiefs. Ton of people were signed today. The Ravens clearly are just not going to be taking massive swings. But as the days go on here, we're going to fill out the roster. And there's more news flowing in here. I think it's JK, though. Dobbins is back with the Broncos. Titans have agreed to terms with Alontae Taylor. Dang, 3 years, $60 million, $42 million fully guaranteed. Titans are swinging today. And then J.K. Dobbins back to the Broncos. I miss anything else? Chiefs, Brian Cook expected to sign with the Bengals. Bengals have been kind of quiet. 3-year, $40.25 million deal, $18 million in year one. Charlie Kohler's in LA. Dang. When does free agency actually start? Wednesday at 4:00 is the new league year start. So this is like verbal agreement tampering period. So everyone's allowed to talk to each other and agree to deals, but nothing's official or locked in until Wednesday at 4. And every NFL team has to be under the salary cap by Wednesday at 4. Well, the Ravens are definitely going to draft a tight end, right? I think that's pretty fair to say. We have Mark Andrews, and that's it. Seahawks re-signed Josh Joby, 3-year, $24 million deal. Who do we even have left to re-sign? Like I thought we'd get Stout or Kohler or some smaller deals done, and they're like leaving right away. Who is left to re-sign? That would be like pressing today. I know like a Awuzie and stuff, but like I don't know if you need to get that done today. He's a vet. Gilman. So yeah, safety Ardarius or Gilman. Van Noy, Ricard. Keaton's still out there technically. Yeah. Ravens decided to not pay up for their own guys. I mean, they pretty much are about to lose 80% of their players that were free agents. They really didn't pay any of them. I mean, they did pay Mark and Travis Jones. Those were the deals before the season ended who were going to be free agents. So I guess, they did sign some people, but looks like they're going to be going elsewhere. Not to say you couldn't bring a few of these guys back, but it just doesn't move the needle a ton, right? Like they're going elsewhere. They're signing other people or just completely relying on the draft. But I think they got some money to spend here. I wonder if Steve is watching this unfold. They were all just with Steve a few days ago. Minter, EDC, Steve Bisciotti in Florida last week, according to Jeff Zuriback. So I think Steve's well in on what's going on here. And they're just deciding not to pay up. That's the reality of it. They are not resetting markets for any of their guys. Chris makes a good point. Brand new coaching staff, they're going to have favorites and want different guys too, and have a completely different system to put guys into. So I'm not shaking either till this roster is complete. I've said this in this stream many times that nothing's complete until we're playing football in September. And even then, you could obviously still make moves, but hopefully it's set by that point. But I agree. I mean, September is when you need this roster done. It is March 9th, and we are only 3.5 hours into this thing. So it does seem depressing that the majority of our free agents are gone. We didn't re-sign any of them. And the only signing we made was John Simpson. But let's not forget, man, we just traded for Max Crosby, too. And it's not like the Ravens aren't about to fill out some holes. They're not just riding with this. Crazy, though. I definitely didn't expect this many departures this fast. That's pretty insane. Yeah, Likely and Kohler. Off to other teams, man. Off to teams that know them well, too. You know what I mean? Isaiah Likely going with John Harbaugh to the Giants, and Charlie Kohler heading to the other Harbaugh in LA. And their GM, Joe Ortiz, used to be under EDC. So I mean, they're going to teams that know those guys very well. That's not like a free market deal. These guys are getting deals from staffs that know them, which is smart. I've been saying this, Melodic Chef. I've been taking heat for it too. And it's not that I'm like reporting anything. I don't know for sure. Nobody knows. But like, you can't do anything if you don't have that extension done. So it's been done. I think that's what the positivity was on Friday. We'll just wait to hear from Lamar. Tony with the 5. Appreciate you. Mad Tasmanian Devil Max. Highest career pressure rate is against the AFC North. I love it. Great stat. And I can't believe Max Crosby is a Raven, bro. Like, this is insane. Insane. That does change a lot defensively. Obviously, right now we're concerned about a lot of offensive pieces we lost, 2 tight ends and a center, but cannot just disregard that we just got Max Crosby. And he's going to terrorize the AFC North. We're the only team in the AFC North that have a defensive-minded coach, too, because the Steelers pivoted and went with McCarthy. Bengals still got Taylor, and the Browns got Todd Monken. I'll say it again. Andrew's got to step up big time. A lot of pressure. A lot of pressure on Andrews. And we're going to draft too. Like, no doubt we're drafting tight ends. I say that with an S because it might be multiple. Could pay somebody in free agency too. Like David Njoku is kind of interesting. So you never know. The Ravens could swing again in free agency. I don't think it's a big swing. There's not that many guys left to swing big for. But yeah, Ryan Mink's already talking about it. Another tight end double dip. Yeah, like that's the narrative switch to like what tight end are the Ravens drafting? Did Linderbaum sign with anyone yet? Yeah, $27 million a year to the Raiders. Stowers is athletic freak, man. That'd be so fun. We could get him in the second round. We tendered Keaton? No, we did not tender Keaton. That was the news. The news was that we decided not to. And then he tweeted out, ooh-wee. Wherever that's at. There's so much freaking news here. Hold on. Yeah, we could have paid Keaton 3.5 and kept him restricted, and we decided to not pick that up. Right here, Ravens are not tendering running back Keaton Mitchell. He will be a free agent. Watch for the Giants. Little surprise there for sure, because all you had to do to tender him with the original tender was $3.5 million. So we're not willing to pay that. Yeah. We'll see what happens, but not good news for Keaton returning to Baltimore for sure. Gene, appreciate you with the 2. Defund the defense. 10 points in the AFC again incoming. Nah, it better not be. And we didn't defund the defense because we just added Max Crosby. But yeah, resources clearly need to be put to the O-line. I agree. Mark Andrews has been declining for a few years. Doesn't mean he sucks. I do think he gets like too much heat when it comes to him being like a bad football player. He does have value, but yeah, he's declining. And he needs to have a crazy bounce back season, in my opinion. And there's a lot of pressure on him to be the guy. We have no other tight ends in the room as of now. All right, let's get back to the news. What's going on? Teams with a lot of cap space are doing what they usually do. They're swinging big. Titans, Raiders, Saints. Need a vet tight end for depth. Yeah, I agree. I was just looking at the tight ends that were available. And Njoku's kind of interesting. He might cost a little bit, but that'd be fun. Njoku and Mark, or even Jonnu Smith, it'd be less money probably. There's some veterans out there. There's options. But I agree. It'd be nice to add one of these vets and then just draft a tight end for the future because these guys are older too. You know what I mean? So you'd have 2 kind of older aging tight ends, but they're definitely drafting one. I think it's pretty safe to say at this point the Ravens are probably drafting a center and a tight end for sure. Yeah, Otten re-signed in Tampa. But I don't mind some of those veteran options. Yeah, look at the 2022 draft. Kyle Hamilton and Travis Jones, home runs. No one else is here. Linderbaum gone. We traded Hollywood for the Linderbaum pick, which was a good trade. I mean, Hollywood's value is not the same since then. You know what I mean? We got a first round pick back for Hollywood. That's a good trade. You get Linderbaum, but you can't hold on to him. Jabo never panned out. Fa'alele did not pan out. Jalen Armour Davis ended up getting cut, signed with Tennessee last year. Kohler's gone. Kohler was a good pick, but he's gone. Stout, gone. Likely, great pick, gone. Yeah, it's just Travis Jones and Kyle Hamilton. I think Kyle probably, at least like the majority of his career, you know, you never know. You could do a Ed Reed at the very end and leave, but Kyle's here for the long term. And Njoku just need a good QB he produces. Yeah, I mean, come on. It's fun to think about Mark Andrews and David Njoku. Like he's a physical tight end, but also a good receiving threat. That would move the needle a little bit for me. That made me feel a lot better. Yeah, Kohler's gone, man. Went to the Chargers. Forget the numbers at this point. There's so much going on. $24.3 million, 3-year deal. So like $8 million a year. Kohler and likely gone. Stout gone. Draymond Jones to the Patriots. That was like the first move. That one didn't surprise me. I honestly wouldn't be surprised like losing the edge guys, but yeah, I don't think drafting a punter is worth it unless it's late. We drafted Stout in the 4th round, which is like a big reason I really thought we were going to kind of hold on to him because I was like, man, we really invested a 4th round pick. And then he didn't have his best years. And then last year, career year. But now after just losing him, I'm like, 4th round punter was not worth it. Defense is winning championships right now. And the football always goes through cycles over time, but defense is winning championships right now, no doubt about it. Ravens defense should be great. I mean, you got Minter play calling and designing it. You just traded for Max Crosby. Like the defense is not the issue right now at all. I'm concerned about the O-line for now, but there's no way they just don't have a backup plan. It feels bad right now because it's just like hit, loss. But September's a long way away. Draymond would have been fun. He got a good payday. Though. I think 13 million a year. Uh, yeah, 3-year, 39 million to go to the Patriots. Which I thought it was less likely that we'd keep him after we traded for Crosby. Before the Crosby trade, I was like, dang, we definitely have a chance of keeping Draymond. But I mean, that was our edge move, was getting Max Crosby. I'm not mad at it. all the posts are just like goodbye posts. Here, I'm all pumped, right? I'm all excited. I'm like, let's go, popcorn. And there's just like, see you, Draymond. Sign John Simpson. Rappaport messed the post up. See you, likely. See you, Jordan Stout. See you, Linderbaum. Maybe see you, Keaton. We didn't pick that up. See you, Charlie Kohler. Sheesh. Not a morning for the week. Ravens fans feeling it a little bit. Darren Waller incoming. Yeah, he is a free agent. He's 33 though, and is like struggled to stay healthy, retired, unretired. I mean, he was one that we let go, but he was having some substance abuse issues and mental health issues and stuff too, and then balled out on the Raiders when he went there. It's definitely one we kind of let go, but I think he's a little older now. I don't know if that moves it for me. Out of this list, I like Jonnu Smith or Njoku. I think those are interesting names. And then draft. We're definitely drafting. No doubt about it. D-Hop post. Yeah, I don't know. Not much. Stout is gone. highest paid punter in the league. Let me see what the exact numbers are. 3-year, 12.3. Highest paid punter in the NFL. So, yeah, we're losing guys to guys resetting the market, essentially. I mean, not likely, but Stout, Linderbaum, and even Kohler for what he's been known for. Every time I see this, I just I'd be so pissed. It pisses me off even reading that. It's not happening at all. Would you miss in the last 30 minutes? Probably not too much. I don't know what 30 minutes was ago at this point. Let me scroll through all the recent Browns, Cameron Thomas, Titans spent a lot of money. I mean, from a Ravens standpoint, just losing Kohler and not tendering Keaton is the last major news events at this point. But some other guys getting signed around the league. This is all in the last 15 minutes. Geez, there's so much going on. It's insane. Yeah, Lamar's going to get highest paid in the league. What's the highest? What is the exact number of the highest paid QB? Oh, that's only. Dak, what is the number though? 60 a year? Yeah, Lamar's 65 sounds right. He's definitely beating that. But that frees the cap up for us. That's good. And he deserves it. Best quarterback in the game, man. And it's his time to get an extension. It's probably already done. Little recap from Hensley here. Linderbaum, highest paid center, likely highest paid tight end this year in free agency. Kohler, highest paid blocking tight end. Stout, highest paid punter. So our guys are reset markets out here. I'll be vouching for 70. Hey, Lamar's worth every penny. Just keep the cap hit low. Give him a big signing bonus. Yeah. We are always frustrated the first day of free agency. I agree. It feels like this every year. And especially because our big swing was a trade, which isn't usually, how hard we don't usually go that hard for a trade. So this is normal, but we also got Max Crosby. It is slowing down though. What do you guys want to do? I'm getting back live. I'm going back live with Noah at 4, which is only in 3 hours. Been live for 4 hours. Take a little break. Come back on with Noah in a couple hours and talk about whatever else happens. Probably not making a video today because I've been live all day, but wanted to hang out with you guys during free agency, man, which has been fun. Just ain't been like the greatest experience for Ravens fans. We just lost a bunch of guys, but hey, we can cope together. Take a break. Yeah. I'm feeling that. It's been 4 hours and then I got to work again in 3 hours. But I'm sure something else will happen. But yeah, all right. I'm going to end this stream, guys. I'm sure something will happen in the next 3 hours, but I'll be back on in 3 hours with Noah, and we'll talk about everything that happened, get his thoughts too, and cope some more, and hopefully we get to talk about some more news. Hold on, the Ravens. Oh, the Ravens are announcing the Tyler Huntley signing here. So they officially announced that. We knew that over the weekend. His agent reported it. I'm sure the comments are going to be pretty funny on this. Just because there's so much negativity going on. But welcome back, Snoop, man. I don't think it should be negative. It's not a negative signing. I just meant with the how everything's feeling right now. Announcing the Snoop signing, it feels minor compared to all the people we lost. But welcome back, Snoop, coming off his best year, man. Perfect backup to Lamar. I'm super happy we re-signed Snoop. But does sting today that we lost a lot. We lost a lot. But yeah. All right, guys. I'm gonna take a break. I'll be back on in 3 hours with Noah. Whatever happens between now and then, we'll talk about in 3 hours. So hopefully a lot of you guys come through then. But appreciate all you guys for sitting here rocking with me for 4 hours and introducing free agency and just coping that we lost a bunch of guys together. So love you guys. Appreciate you guys. I'll see you later tonight and have a beautiful rest of your day.